This episode of Limit Break Radio is made possible by our generous Patreon donors, including Lilo Liore of Sargatanis, Danielle J. of Goblin, Satori Komeji of Sargatanis. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to support Limit Break Radio, visit patreon.com/Limit Break Radio.
Live from Eorzea.
Limit Break with your hosts, Aniero.
Now behold the horror you have wrought.
Kahlo.
I said don't take your clothes off.
Juxtaposition.
I don't get it.
Ascalia.
Holy shit, totally forgot about him.
And Nika.
Oh my god.
LimitBreakRadio.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Limit Break Radio, episode number 43. Oh, man.
We are getting up there.
Oh, dude, aren't we ever?
I remember when we hit like 13 really quickly, like after like, or not really quickly, really slowly, and then just like we got to 20 immediately after we went weekly.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's 43.
43.
Soon it's going to be 63.
Yeah, we're catching up to what, 11's LVR maxed out at. I mean, very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Feels good. Feels good. Welcome to the show. We got an exciting show for you today. A lot of salt going around the Final Fantasy XIV community.
Are people upset?
Are you ready for the salt?
Do you think you can handle it? Do you?
Salty people are dumb.
We're gonna talk about that anime weapon grind.
Oh, goodness.
The animes.
Excited to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us live on twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. If you're joining us live, you've got a unique opportunity to join in on the program. To be a part of the program, you can give us a call by sending a Skype message to Limit Break Radio. Let us know what your character name and your server is. Or if you don't have access to Skype, you can give us a call, 810-515-8715, and we ask that you do. We want to take a temperature. How hot under the collar are you about the Anima Weapons? We want to know, because there's a lot of sentiment going around, and I mean, come on, it's time to chat about this. All right, we are of course live from Eorzea. Let's kick it on over to our Eorzean studios. And the lovely iCam. And, dude, what is this?
What's what?
The friggin'...
you have a turkey on your head.
Oh, look at that. No, the game's not showing up. Why is it... Why OBS, why you do? Why you do?
Did you not change it for DirectX?
No, I definitely did. I don't know what happened there, but there we go. There we go.
That looks nicer.
There we go. We got some folks waving in the studio there. Thank you so much for joining us live on Twitch TV. There we go.
Happy birthday, mother heifer, you primal of salt, you #Campaniero.
Thank you very much, Hasiosaurus, starting it off with a $35 donation to Campaniero. Thank you so much. And
you guys really earned it. I'm proud of you.
We worked hard for it.
Yeah, I just noticed that my sounds were on too, so let's restart that iCam.
You're terrible.
We're prepared for today. Thank you. But also...
We do a professional podcast.
Yes, we are pros at this. Hasiosaurus pointing out that it is my birthday. Thank you for the birthday wishes.
Happy birthday to you.
Wow, Nika.
That was terrific.
Thank you.
Wow.
Good Lord.
Didn't you know I'm a frog that smokes cigarettes?
It's all bad.
That sounded surprisingly like you. Wow.
Kind of did.
Ah, that's wow.
Completely
Okay.
planned.
So
Nika, are you dying?
Yeah, are you okay?
I'm a frog in real life.
You're a
you
frog.
didn't know?
No. Ribbit.
All right, who wants to kiss Nika and turn her back?
Where's Senpai? I think Senpai has a job to do.
He's staying far away from me so he doesn't catch this.
Well, that's probably smart. That's
what
probably
I would do.
smart. Yeah. Anyway, so thank you guys for joining us. Of course, my name is Aniero Grigori. It is my 31st birthday. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Joining me is Juxtaposition, Ascalia Rayumasa, Nika Kayanian, and no Kahlo. It's oddly calm in here today.
No collar today.
Yeah, no,
It's calm. There's no crying.
I know, right? Yeah.
Can actually sit properly without a big ego pushing us around.
Oh well, after last week on Final Encountercast, where he stormed out of the studio. Which, by the way, if you haven't heard that yet, go to finalencountercast.com and check that out. Absolute. I'm actually kind of not surprised that he's not here today.
Who's storming out next? Because this is becoming a thing, and there's only 3 of us left who have not stormed out.
Yeah, it seems like a trend.
You kind of stormed out during the first Vermilion conversation.
No, he definitely did. He got up and left.
No,
he was gone. He was out of the room.
That was frustration. I know.
I tapped out. That's different. That's different.
That was not an emotional breakdown.
No.
That was just like, I can't do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was that this is not worth my time.
Getting up and leaving the room, I think that counts. Though.
That does not count.
You physically removed yourself from the room.
No. It's different when it's like an emotional thing. That was more just like, fuck this.
That was pure apathy.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. It was like, you know what, you guys can talk about this, but I'm gonna go take this time to read. Actually, we walk out of the studio all the time. You just don't know it.
Yes.
We don't talk about it. We get up and refill our drinks. Sometimes we have to pee. We do a 3-hour show. Most of the time, that's completely uninterrupted. So if we didn't get up and move around at least a little bit, it would be awfully strange. So really, I was just taking an extended drink break. I was going and getting some pizza. Yeah, that wasn't a storm out. That was definitely not a storm out.
Oh, okay.
I'll vouch for Aniero. It wasn't storming out. Like when you storm out, there's emotion built into it.
Yeah.
And Aniero had no emotion towards that, which is why he left.
I sort of feel like Kahlo has defined the storm out for us. I mean, he seems to be setting the standard for storm outs. So. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate it. We've got a lot to talk about, and of course, we do want to take your calls at the Skype account Limit Break Radio or 810-515-8715. We're talking a lot about Anima Weapons today. The reaction to the grind. How do you feel about it? There's been a lot of words typed about it. A
lot of them intelligently.
Absolutely, and dispassionately and totally objectively too, right?
There is absolutely no bias behind any of those things that we've read.
Not at all.
No. Those are all purely objective, unbiased opinions.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they should all be commended for having been written.
Yes. So we definitely want to talk to you about that. So get your calls lined up now. Again, on Skype at Limit Break Radio or 810-515-8715. But we do actually have a little bit of Final Fantasy XIV news to check out.
This is a Limit Breaking News Update.
So, as we all know, the Starlight Celebration has started. That is Final Fantasy XIV's version of a Christmas event. And it's going on right now. I was excited for a minute about the beard until I got it, tried to dye it, and realized that the darkest that you can dye it is like ash gray.
Well, now,
really?
Yeah.
Not everyone may have done the event, so if you want to go ahead and do the event while we're doing the news, go ahead. We'll wait. Alrighty, finished?
Yeah, it's basically you go here, do this, go here, do this, go here, do this. There's really nothing.
There's only even a do this at like one of them.
Yeah.
It's like talk to NPC,
craft
make item, and or take from someone else who happens to be handing it out.
Yeah. So make sure that you do that while it's active. But in celebration of that, there is a Starlight Celebration comic strip contest that's going on for North American players. The contest entry period is Friday, December 18th through Wednesday, January 6th. And the theme is they're asking that you please create a comic strip using 4 screenshots related to the theme of the Starlight Celebration as in the in-game seasonal event. The grand prize, up to 20 grand prize winners will be selected from the North American region from qualifying entries and awarded the prizes listed below. 1 noble barding for your chocobo, and a choice of one of the items below: an airman choker, a Mandy choker, a bluebird earring, and a scarf of wondrous wit. So there are runner-up prizes as well, and you can, of course, check out more at FinalFantasy14.com at the Lodestone, and we'll have a link to it at our website, LimitBreakRadio.com, as well. And also, make sure that you do the Maiden's Rhapsody. That's wrapping up December 31st at 7 a.m. Pacific. Especially if you are a Final Fantasy XI player, you definitely want to take the time to do this. It's actually fun. There are actually things to do. It's a fun quest, unlike the Starlight Celebration, but make sure that you do it. It's definitely awesome and hits you right in the feels. So that, again, wrapping up.
I can't wait to do it.
Wrapping up December 31st, 2015 at 7 a.m. Pacific. Do not forget about that. But that's really it in terms of Final Fantasy XIV news. Not a whole lot of official news. We do have the live letter that's coming up on the 23rd. That's just 3 days away. Yoshi P is going to be answering hot topics from the forums. It's anyone's guess what those could be. If they could be Anima weapon reactions, if they could be 3.1 reactions, who knows? I don't know. I think that there are some people that are expecting him to come out and say, sorry, we made a bit of a misstep with this patch. We're going to do better next time. I think that's some players' expectations. I don't know that they're going to get that. But it's interesting to note what the temperature of the community is right now, because on Wednesday it seemed to hit boiling point. Wow! And again, we do want to take your calls on this at Limit Break Radio on Skype or 810-515-8715. But real quick, I do want to talk about what we have going on here at Limit Break Radio. We are calling it The Bet. And it's
heating up.
It is heating up.
I'll say.
We had Hasio Sora kick off this broadcast right at the start with a $35 donation. I didn't put the totals, the updated totals, onto the outline here.
I got them right here.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Because I got them right here. Camp Aniero is sitting at $1,308.85.
Actually, that's
Plus
incorrect.
35.
That's plus 35,
Plus
bro.
35, right? So whatever that is.
Math.
Yeah.
1343.
Sure.
He did have a calculator up.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
yeah,
All right. Good.
yeah.
And then Camp Juxta is sitting at $1,458.85. So Camp Juxta, for the first time,
Second time.
For the first time as we've done a show, has pulled ahead.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Officially, as a part of an episode, you are officially ahead as of this moment. And we do. I want to remind you that we have the rules written out for you over at our website, limitbreakradio.com. If you're curious about that, but we've Juxta, I've noticed that you have had to kind of go to some extreme lengths to be able to
I wouldn't say it's extreme
to
length.
raise some money for.
I think I would call it
Juxta.
extreme.
I would say that I am producing content and making people have a reason to donate.
It depends.
I'm not going to say you cut a finger off, but you've gone to some extreme lengths.
I think that solely depends on your opinion of Jackass as content. So, but some interesting events going down in the last couple of weeks on stream. We hope that you've been joining us here at twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio and twitch.tv/Final Encountercast as we continue to do this bet. And I just, I kind of want to give, I want to give people an idea of what they're missing, of what they're missing out on, because Juxta, now you guys, I would call, you and Kahlo have done two notable stunts so far
in the past week.
In the past week.
Yeah.
So we've actually, we've pulled up some video here because it's not just the video, it's also the audio too. And again, I said this on the Tuesday Reset stream. I'll say it again. Real recognize real, man. I'm pretty impressed. I'm pretty impressed with the lengths that you've been going to get this done here, man.
Well, I mean, it's like we say, like we try to work for the money, and
hey, I got engaged.
What? I don't even understand what that means. Okay.
What do you mean you don't understand what it means? I got engaged
in the game. Can you explain that? Explain what your engaged thing means.
Sakura-chan donated lots of money, and I asked her to marry me, and she said yes.
Okay.
So
what does it usually mean when someone gets engaged?
I only asked her to marry you because she donated money to you.
Yeah.
That's I think a sugar mama.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
That's a benefactor.
Yeah.
Oh, are you gonna wave the moral finger at me over having a benefactor? Is that what's about to happen here? My benefactor is trying to save my legs.
Trying to get rid of the content that me and Kyler are trying to create by you having to wax your legs.
No, well, nobody's getting rid of content here. All right, let's just slow down. Anyway,
the chat, by the way, is digging that Callie's love can be bought.
All right, so I want to share this real quick. This is going to get meta here on the stream because you're going to be seeing the stream within the stream. Streamception.
Obvious joke is obvious.
Yep. All right. So actually, you know what? Actually, you know what I could do? No, I do want to. I was thinking I would just get the webcam view, but you know what? I think you need the full view for this.
Yeah.
I think it requires the full view. It actually requires Kahlo's character in the background mandervilling to make it complete. So all right, let's check out. This happened Monday night? Was this Monday night that this happened?
No, this had to be probably Wednesday.
No,
the nut kick was last week, right?
No, I thought the nut kick was Monday, and then
it might have been Monday.
Might have been Monday. All right, so here we go. This is from this past week on Limit Break Radio. So.
Oh yeah, it's hard to see, but I rubbed Aniero's mouse on my balls.
Good. Awesome.
I like to open up with that.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Kahlo. You asshole. You know what? This is actually a really long setup. Like
it is.
Yeah. Let's go ahead. Yeah. I
think it's like 4 minutes in.
Here we go. We've got him setting up the camera here.
I love the camera positioning for this.
Yeah.
Ferris has to just leave.
Right around the Titan song comes on, that's when the night kick happens.
Oh, right. That's right. All right, let's. Here we go.
Juxta, are you wearing sweatpants for this?
Oh, you are. Yes. Those are the worst pants to wear.
What were you thinking?
I wasn't.
Yikes.
Tell me you're like wearing 3 pairs of underwear or something. Just tell me you're wearing underwear. Oh, God damn it.
I mean, I do like the fact that you just kind of went for it. Now, I just want to remind the audience that this wasn't just a ball kick. This was a ball kick, and then you had to Manderville afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
All right. I like the tension. There's a lot of build-up here. Whoa. Wait. All right.
I mean...
This happens like 4 or 5 times. This happens like 4 or 5 times.
Well, I mean, I don't want to get kicked in the nuts, so.
Right. All right.
It's hard to like face it.
Here we go. Oh wait, no, hang on. I hear
the tension is visceral.
I hear the Leviathan music.
God, you can cut it with a knife.
I know, right?
Oh!
There it is. Bam! There it is.
Let me tell you, that sound that came out of Juxta's mouth, he could not reproduce that on command if he tried.
We got a Manderville, bro.
I want a t-shirt that says, we got a Manderville, bro.
You are in pain.
Yeah.
All right, now, whose idea was this? Was this Callow's idea or your idea that you would get kicked in the balls by Callow? And seeing as he's the one who benefits way more from this, how did you let him talk you into this?
Because he got slapped on stream by Fairbear.
Okay. So I'll grant you that. But you took it a big step up from slap.
Oh, and
it was $50 to start it.
Kyle is just loving it. You can see the pure joy on his face. I'm gonna hang with this for just a second because I gotta share. Look at that plumber's crack you got going on there. Ooh, that is such an ass crack.
That ass.
I had to laugh when Ferris came by and just like hiked up your pants. Because you were clearly incapable of being able to.
Juxta was in a different world at that point.
There was no. That was the least of my worries.
Yeah. No. I want to back it up here again because I want to hear the noise that you emit. The absolutely. Like that. This is like the least masculine noise that I've ever heard ever.
How did you not just make that his intro for the day?
It'll on the actual intro. That'll
absolutely.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Ballin'.
Literally.
Not anymore.
Oh my God.
You know, I'm going to try not to laugh too much because if we lose this bet, I will make sounds way worse than that, I'm certain.
Oh, absolutely.
Juxta, it's good that you can laugh at it too.
I could laugh now that it's like been a couple days and the feeling has returned back to my nutsack.
It was like those moments where we get really upset about something on the show, but when we go back and listen to it later, like, all right, that was funny.
It's like having my own version of a drop.
Damn this good shit!
Oh my God. And then the Manderville right after that just makes it better.
We got a Manderville, bro.
We got a Manderville, bro.
I think that was my best rendition of the Manderville I've done yet. So.
And we also have the nut kick aftermath. There was a bunch of sympathy donations rolling in right after that.
Yeah.
So, but that wasn't the only stunt that you guys did.
It sure wasn't.
Nope, it sure wasn't. So who came up with this idea?
This was Kahlo.
Was the nut kick Kahlo's idea?
Now the thing I watched. Okay, the nut kick was Monday because I was on my editing tear on Monday.
Yes,
and I wanted so desperately to join you guys just for the nut kick for a second.
Yeah,
and I just couldn't because I was so busy editing Final Encountercast together. So yeah, it was definitely Monday. But on this was Thursday, I believe, Thursday or Friday. The condiment
Thursday, yeah.
Okay,
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, I was so I don't even I watched the nut kick happen.
Yeah,
and was cracking my shit up. But explain to me what exactly this is because I'm not even sure.
Okay, so I actually wasn't present for this either. I mean, he was solo streaming, and so somewhere along the lines he decides that, hey, let's make a list of all the condiments in my house, and for $5 you can add it to what was known as the Satan's asshole concoction.
Oh no!
And he got some.
Didn't it become Santa's asshole at one point?
I guess.
Okay,
but no,
that's a little bit more festive.
It was like fluffy, like his beard.
Oh. All right. So what was in this? What all was in this? Do you even know?
Yes, he kept track, but there was. All right, let me see. There was soy sauce, grape jelly, tartar sauce, mayonnaise, honey.
I'm just gonna throw up now.
Yeah, it was bad. No mustard, no ketchup. Oh, gosh.
Thank God.
There were some other things in there.
It may have put you off mustard forever.
No, there was no mustard thing.
Yeah, I know. If mustard was in there, yeah,
that would have been the worst. We also added milk to give it like some liquid consistency.
Oh no!
Oh God!
It started curdling. And Kahlo smelled it before he actually downed it, which was a bad idea because it literally smelled like vomit. Okay, he was solo streaming this, so he was going to do this on his own, and he got like a good $55-$60 off of this.
Oh no!
And
the results speak for themselves, I think.
Yeah,
Right.
I was.
So wait, there wasn't actually Ipecac in this.
No,
it just turned into it.
Yes.
I thought you guys actually mixed Ipecac.
No.
Oh my god, that's so disgusting.
Jinx McNinja for the fucking win.
Jinx McNinja was the one who.
Yes.
And
you my boy, Jinx.
Because I wasn't
You my
streaming.
boy.
I said like he had to equal the amount
Jinx is my
that was
new best-
donated before I would also drink it.
Oh.
And Jinx got me.
Oh
So
no.
Jinx.
Eat a dick.
All right, here we go. I don't know how I did this, but I landed right. I got you guys with the shot glasses. So here we go. All right, you guys know what's in this.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
It might have been better if you hadn't known.
Ugh.
Just the look of trepidation.
I know, you guys look terrified.
Oh God.
To
Jinx. Oh no.
Alright guys, just so you know, like this, I just want to point out how like unfair this is. We're doing this. We're actually doing for the bet. And Escala's gonna be up here. He's gonna come on later tonight, I bet.
I wish I could give this more volume.
Yeah.
Suffice it to say, he's bitching that I don't have to do this shit for donations.
Yeah.
And they said they're tapped out. He said he was tapped out after the first 200.
How much did they get? Oh yeah, that was. I remember that.
Oh my God! How long do you guys prep? You're clearly just wasting time. You're like you're trying to put.
Well, the
Yeah,
longer,
but dude, if you had that in your hand, you'd be waiting too.
I
the
know,
longer you have to like just
psych
put
it
off,
up. You're psyching up. Is what? Okay.
Maybe it'll just go away.
Oh no, there's not. That's definitely not happening.
Maybe this will just disintegrate.
Hang on. You know what? For this one, I actually do. I don't think that that the FF14 video is adding anything. So I'm just gonna get the webcam video here.
Okay.
And blow that up. Let's do that. Let's do that. There we go. Let's make that bigger. Here we go. So we can get like a full idea of what's happening here. All right. Here we go. You can see it. It's frothy, dude.
Oh, it's so disgusting.
Oh, here it goes.
No,
Here it goes. Oh. Kahlo's trying to wash it down. No.
There's no hope.
No. And Kahlo bails out to the bathroom. Oh, it was
You could see him like going like after the trash can that Juxta already had. He's like, "No, you bastard!"
We were going back and forth with it. It couldn't fit both. Yeah, like I could not get to my chaser.
No, you didn't even get to your. Oh,
I had it in my hand. I was like, nope. It was so bad.
Oh God!
And then Fairweather had
making me gag, dude.
She was gonna fucking vomit too.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, it's the worst.
Oh.
All right, you know what?
You can't even drink your chaser. You're literally spitting out your chaser. Oh my God. The way that Kahlo just bailed out, though.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He was vomiting, too.
Holy
now,
shit.
Aniero, doesn't this kind of make you feel like we should do something?
Yeah.
Look at that bailout. Like,
oh my
he
God,
just
look at him go. He's like, I am out.
He just insta-bails. It's just like, what? One. Wait, no. Who's it going to go to? Bail! Bail! Abort.
Dude, like...
Oh my God!
Like that was an Olympic level hurdle going on there. I am out.
Yeah, that was some athleticism. I don't think the only reason he got to the bathroom was because he has that wiry frame of his, and he was able to get around that corner fast enough. Holy shit!
That was horrifying.
Oh, so look, those are the links that we've been going to for the bet here. If you want to get in on some of this, we invite that you do. Follow here at twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio.
You know,
it's been insanely fun.
As much as I don't want to give the other team credit, Juxta Good on you, man. Like, that was some dedication.
Real recognize real, right? Like, that's,
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
That was some real shit.
I'm impressed.
I did not want to drink that.
No.
I
don't blame you. Like, if you could go back and not have the $55.
Maybe. I mean, I set like a 15 minutes time limit. Like, okay, if we get $60 in the next 15 minutes, fine. And I was watching that clock like a fucking hawk.
I bet you were.
And it was down to 59. Like at 10 o'clock is when we cut it off. It was at 59. Then Jinx came in. And I was like, no.
All right, so Jinx has been basically your Sakura-chan.
Yeah.
Because Jinx is actually what prompted that to happen from Sakura, because Jinx was multi-twitching and watching both Final Encounter Cast and Limit Break Radio, and he donated to Callow, and I got pissed because I'm like, I just had a donation for Camp Juxta on my stream. That hurts. And then Sakura jumped in and saved the day.
Yes, that's awesome. But anyway, so yeah, if you want to, seriously, if you want to get in on some of this fun, hang out with us when we're streaming, or, if you want to scroll a message across the screen today, have Magic Voice pop in and read it, you can hit that PayPal button down below.
Especially if you put hashtag Camp Aniero on it.
Yes. Yeah.
It'll sound way better.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely. But seriously, good on you, dude. I have to give you credit. Like, that takes some balls.
Doesn't it make you feel like we should do something?
Yeah, you know what
Drink with me, friend.
You should also do a vomit thing.
No,
like that.
No,
I don't think so.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
No?
that sounds like a bad idea.
But I know, NES Casuals, if you have an idea, let me know.
Yeah,
I might do it.
I mean, we did get in on some of the fun. We were telling stories. We were telling.
I got embarrassed on stream.
Yeah, we were telling relationship stories the other night.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was fun.
I haven't been able to. I didn't stream the past couple nights because I've been going through a bit of a health concern. Do you want to talk about this?
I mean, I guess. Yeah. Let's talk. Because I mean, the only reason I was made aware of this was I asked where the Patreon video was.
Right.
Which
and
I'm sure
my thoughts have been elsewhere. I didn't do it.
By the way,
it is done.
By the way, if you are a Patreon donor over at patreon.com/limitbreakradio, then you can check out the Patreon video that came out today. So
I guess later that night, after you'd gone to bed, when I was streaming, people who were watching that stream may recall for a brief moment, I suddenly grabbed at the left side of my head and had a lot of pain, which at the time...
Hashtag Camp Aniero if you drink a shot of that too.
$2? Yeah, no. That's
I
not
need more
worth
than
it.
$2.
Ain't worth it.
No, that's for
no
$2.
How about a nut kick for $2?
No way.
Equip plus 3 boots of kicking!
So I suddenly grabbed at the left side of my head and I had to wait a couple minutes to kind of recover from a weird pain that I felt, and then it just went away.
Okay.
The next day, I woke up unable to hear out of that ear.
That's alarming.
That was alarming.
That would be particularly alarming to me because it's hearing is pretty critical to the thing that I do. So.
Yes,
I guess.
I could still hear just fine out of my right ear, but the left ear not so much. So I went out and bought a bottle of ear cleaner stuff and did that all day basically.
Right.
The next day I still couldn't hear, but it was better. But
Okay.
it still wasn't great. And yesterday I still couldn't hear and it was worse. So I finally went to the doctor.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So I finally went to the doctor and he went and examined my ear and come to discover that within the inner recesses of my ear is a spider bite.
Whoa!
Spider bite.
Wait, whoa! Hey, hang on. I had sort of zoned out there for a second. Wait a minute. There was a spider bite inside your ear.
In the inner recesses of my ear, such that places I could not reach normally, that deep, was a spider bite inside of my ear that was now pussing.
So it was swollen. Oh,
and that is why I couldn't hear.
Oh.
But you got to squeeze out the pus, though, right?
Oh, yes.
Oh, so that's a bonus.
Oh, that was fun, and that's what I got to clean out for 3 days.
That's awesome.
Yes. So that was absolutely
By the way,
horrifying. I still cannot hear quite so well out of that ear, but
you can just have those headphones. By the way, you can just take those with you.
Yeah, make sure you mark those.
So
burn them.
So upon as I was getting ready to leave, I asked the doctor, "When will my hearing come back?" To which his exact response was, and I quote, "Probably."
Probably.
That's not a great answer.
That was also extraordinarily alarming.
Yeah.
Well, I would assume when the spider bite heals, then you.
Well, that's what I assumed, which is why I said when.
Right.
His response of probably, though, was not making me feel great.
So did you have like maybe a spider was like hanging out in your headphones or something?
Well, I was actually going to give the chat warning that I was about to say that.
All right, let's go. The rest of you need to drink that stuff. Have the vomit bags ready, and this should be enough to make you all do it. Hashtag Camp Aniero.
Okay, all right, heart slot, $40 in the
God.
40?
Yeah, I don't know. That's still, I don't know. What was your
55 for them, right?
55, and then I also took another 60 for me to do it.
Yeah.
And I would say it's not worth 60.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
We'll keep an eye on that number, see where it gets to.
Yeah. We'll see.
So, yes, I was going to give everyone a warning, but too late now. When I got home, I examined my headphones to find that there was a spider living on one of my earmuffs on my headphone.
Oh, no.
And so I dare you all to ever put on your headphones again without checking first.
Oh, now I've got to check mine. Shit.
Oh, no.
It's freaking me out.
Yes, that happened.
So
that's where I've been the past few days. I've been in a kind of an emotional, weird place for the past few days.
Where
I've not wanted to game or really even live. Just kind of like, I'm done. I'm checking out of life.
Nope.
That's it for me.
Nope.
Because once you had a bug go inside your ear and bite you.
Nope.
I'm done.
No. Just no.
Yeah.
Nope, the fuck out.
The way the news goes.
Yes. That is straight up something out of a fucking horror movie.
That's fucking horrific.
Yes.
Oh.
That happened to me.
Holy shit. I'm sorry to hear that. Legitimately.
Yeah.
I don't wish that on anyone. That's really terrible.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that my hearing will return as normal. Right now it just sounds like that ear's underwater all the time, but that water is venom and pus, so you know.
So does that make you the Spider King?
Well, I like if I get spider powers out of this, totally worth. I'll go ahead and say that. Like if I can crawl on walls and shit, yeah, I'm into that.
But I mean, like if you have to lose an ear because of it, like you'd be kind of like
I've been assured that none of the tissue is necrotizing, so he was able to give me that good news.
Good.
Yeah, what a bad day when that's the best news that I got for the day.
Jesus, but I mean, like, but if you fuck up your inner ear, you'd be like the Spider-Man that can never really catch his balance, right? Like
the shitty ass. Spider-Man.
You'd be kind of like weaving your way up, like the webs wouldn't kind of. You'd be like retarded Spider-Man.
Great. Great, yeah, I am.
I'll save you, Mary Jane.
I am no equilibrium man. I can't wait.
Oh God! Oh, that's horrific, dude.
It was. Like, because
how big was the hang on? How big?
It was not a large spider, obviously, because it was able to get into my ear without me really noticing. Because I didn't like feel it going into my ear.
Like it must have went in, bit you, and came back out. It's good that it didn't lodge itself inside.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't make a home in there.
Oh my God!
I can only assume that I was like,
well, hold on.
Shut up.
Are you sure it's not still in there?
Shut your fucking mouth.
Wait.
I am sure. Yes.
Hang on.
Are you positive? I mean, have you seen it?
Yeah.
All right, I had a doctor with a big ear thing in there. It better not. So again, and he might not tell me if it was, because what could he do about it?
Hang on. What if it laid eggs?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hate you. Fuck off.
I think the doctor would have been able to fix that or notice.
Please, no, that can't happen, right?
What if it's like in your brain now?
Well, like it would have to go through my eardrum, right? That's a thing there.
Yeah,
right?
like what if it burrowed through your eardrum?
You can't do that. I would have noticed that.
Yeah.
Are you sure? It was really tiny.
Well, you can't hear, so
yeah.
I just hear. I feel like I'm underwater though.
I think we're freaking them out.
So, like, you feel like the spider's underwater?
No! Oh my God! What is the matter with you people?
Did it talk?
So all you're really feeling is pain right now. So
no, I don't feel anything.
Oh, so you don't feel it going into your skull?
No, it doesn't hurt.
But you don't feel anything.
Shut up! I hate you. Oh my God.
Oh gosh.
I gotta go check my ear. I'll be right back.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, well. As a great segue to Scalia leaving, we have.
Well, hang on. Well, I'm going to assume that our first caller wants to talk about Anima Weapons.
We have 9 callers who want to talk about Anima
Weapons. That's fantastic. But let's just set up the conversation here for a second.
Okay, let's set it up.
So, patch 3.15 coming out this past Wednesday, surprising all of us. We thought it was going to come out on Tuesday. Nope.
No, had to be on Wednesday.
Nope, comes out on Wednesday.
Because fuck you.
Yeah, because why not? And because 2 maintenances are better than 1.
It's just to get those hunts all lined up synchronically. Yeah.
What?
We wanted to make all the hunts line up in a synchronicity.
What? Why? Why do you? Why?
I'm not helping you. Fuck you.
Why? That's horrific. Why do you say words sometimes?
Words are hard sometimes.
No, they're not.
Synchronically.
Synchronically.
Synchronously.
That's the word.
Maybe if you're British.
Oh my God. I can't even with
I've
you.
never missed Callow before.
I know,
Not
right?
once in my life have I missed Callow.
That's the thing, is that Kahlo's used to this shit, so he goes, no, I know what he's doing, just move on. Just go, just ignore him. And like we don't do that. We just look at him and just make him extremely uncomfortable, which he just throws right back at us.
We just try to comprehend how he makes it through on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, how do you function is really my reaction.
Sometimes.
Probably.
That may be the most accurate thing you've ever said. Okay, so 3.15 coming out on Wednesday, and we got, of course, the Anima Weapons and the Saint Endulum's Scholasticate. So everyone wants to talk about Anima Weapons. A lot of people posting about Anima Weapons between Reddit and the official forums. A lot of salt, a lot of passion going around. And there's a lot of expectation, I've noticed. People have said on Twitter, people have said in the chat room today that they can't wait for me to go off about these Anima Weapons. And I don't know, I guess
even you have to admit you do tend to overreact to stuff.
That's not incorrect, but I'm having a tough time with this one.
I was like, I'm glad I'm not the only one where I see this Anima stuff and I'm like,
wait, okay,
hold on.
Off. So Aniero's really salty and hates it, right?
No, I'm actually kind of okay with it. I know. It's kind of surprising. So I feel like
the chat wants lots of salt.
I know they do, and that's why I'm hoping that these 9 callers are good and salty, because there have been a lot, and I mean a lot of salty people out there posting, writing words upon emotionally charged words.
Okay, now I don't think...
Yeah, a lot of these were real well thought out phrasings.
No. A lot of these callers are calling out the salty people, so if you want to call in right now, tell me if you're salty about it so I can get you to the front of the pack, because I'm going to assume that everyone's going to be like, no, it's not salty at all, calling out these salty people.
Well, everyone's used to having to calling in to like combat against Aniero.
I know.
Now he's on their side. No one's going to know what to do.
I know. But actually, let's take a second. I kind of want to read a few of these big rants that have been making their way around the community. I mean, people have just been sort of reacting to them ever since Wednesday. People have been coming into our streams and going, "Hey, what do you think about them?" But I'm actually a little bit more curious about what you think about them, because I think my reaction is I don't think it's going to be as big as you guys want it to be. So I'd rather react to you. So give us a call at Limit Break Radio on Skype or 810-515-8715. Now let's start off with this first one. Is coming from Reddit, from a poster named Dr. Mog, which I don't know, that name seems a little bit familiar. But let's call it what it is. Blatant artificial gateways and time sinks to increase playtime and thus revenue. Title: Please observe the real issue. I'll take the downvotes and hate, but I've been spending more and more time in other games because of it. Essie, stop! Edit, holy shit, my inbox. This community anger isn't isn't that it's a little grindy. I know that this is how MMOs operate. This is not a typical MMO time sink. This is overkill. And the last step of the relic quest is what we're all talking about here for all of those who are talking about fates. So a bit of a perspective from Dr. Mog there.
But from that, isn't that what 11's relic grind was? And everybody said that it should be more like 11's to make it feel like we accomplished something.
Yes.
So then they give us a grind more like 11's, and then people are mad. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think that, Nika, that kind of actually hits the nail on the head of why we aren't mad. This is kind of what we asked for.
I don't know, but to me, it's like, what did you really expect?
See, my feelings about the relic weapon is that they should be so long and so time consuming to get that you're never going to have one player that has 12 of them. Like, that's how I feel. And I feel like with the Zodiac, there were some people who literally had all of them before the end. And I'm like, that's stupid. With something like this, you're not going to want to do more than one or two. And I feel like that's what makes them rare and what makes them cool.
Well, they had made the Zodiac so easy to get by the end that's why. I mean, they kept easing the requirements every patch or two, and so that's why people flew through it, and that is fine. But here's,
and I think they'll do it again here too.
And here's the thing: is that the development, at least the logic that I see here, is that you've got two options for the way that you build a powerful weapon. You can either put the time and effort into Savage mode and get a raiding weapon, or you can grind really, really easy stuff that you're probably not going to fail over and over and over again to make a powerful, easier weapon if you're, a little bit more casual. The payoff there, though, is that you get to customize it at some point down the line, which I think that this series of quests is going to be extremely similar to the 2.0 Relic. And I get that there are some people out there who are complaining that it is the same thing as the 2.0 Relic, and I think that's probably the most that I could complain about, is that it's very, very similar to the 2.0 Relic structure.
My only assault comes from the storyline, because that we were hoping that we would have a real story with a real weapon that had real history. And once again, it's just Geralt shows up and says, "Hey, let's make a new thing," and we're like, "Okay." That's my only assault.
I don't know. They
didn't think about putting a real story into each weapon.
I don't know. There is a little bit of speculation out there that I've seen that makes the quest line a little bit more interesting, in that you are choosing. So you're tapping a soul to be able to make this new weapon. You're infusing it with a specific soul, and it asks you whether the voice you heard was male or female.
And who do we know that has died recently that is male and a female?
And a female. Moonbrita or Hearts and Farts.
Ysayle.
Or Ysayle. Yeah. Ysayle would be another one.
Well, why would we be able to hear their dead friends? That's weird.
Because you would be infusing their soul into your weapon.
Which is really morbid.
That's creepy.
It is a little creepy.
No, I don't like that.
I like that speculation.
No,
it makes that quest a lot more interesting. If that's what they're working towards.
You know what would be a really good twist is if it does turn out to be Hearts and Farts or Ysayle, and they actually just want to pass on to the afterlife, and they want to go away, but you lock their soul into your weapon, and so now you have to choose between going against their wishes and forcing them to stay alive, or having the top tier weapon.
See,
I'm liking the moral choice system.
Yeah. Hang on. And then a step in the weapon progression is that you have to kill them over and over again, because we know we've theorized that at some point Hearts and Farts is going to become Ixion, right? So we're going to have an Ixion, like a regular story quest, and I'm sure that's probably. So if you do the male side, you got to grind Ixion a whole bunch of times, or if you do the female side, you got to do Shiva a whole bunch of times, right? Isn't that?
That would be so good.
That would be awesome. It's not going to happen because it's too awesome.
Maybe
too
they're
awesome,
both
too
the same,
into it.
and it's just Nail Van Darnus in there.
Right. Okay.
No, Frosty has a point. Is that didn't they say the goal was to create a new soul and to make a new weapon, not recycle someone's soul that already exists?
It's gonna wind up you put part of your own soul in there or something like that.
No, that wouldn't make sense though. If you're a female character and you pick that you heard a male talking to you, that wouldn't be your own soul.
Hey, maybe you're transgendered. All right.
Okay,
some
maybe,
people deal with that shit.
Every single person who chooses that though,
100% of people who get Relic are transgendered.
Now hold on. Hold on. It just says a male voice or a female voice. So your hearing could be slightly off, or you could just have like a high-pitched voice in Aniero's case.
You could have a spider in your ear. Maybe you just heard wrong.
All right, so here's another post also from Reddit from Catacomb Skeleton. Please don't defend this for Square Enix. They need a bit of realization. This relic on top of months of old and grinded content is an uncreated time sink that doesn't even try to be fun. Isn't that what the game should be? Fun? 2.0 Relic was fun.
No, it
the content wasn't too
No one
old
liked it.
to make it seem like our effort was pointless. Tackling difficult bosses together was great, and it was a time sink, yes, but not nearly as much as this. It is inexcusable. They didn't even try with this relic. It's blatantly obvious. People who were already at the brink of unsubscribing from this nearly to no new content have unsubbed after this. Those who gave SE the benefit of the doubt and kept at this game have started to step back. We need something done about this.
Okay, I see what he was saying.
Change.org petition.
He means that getting your first relic weapon when you have to do the boss fights, that bit was fun. None of the shit that came out, like Novus, Animus, none of that shit was fun.
Well, that's fair because that's what he said. The
bullshit.
2.0 relic.
Right, the boss fights. Okay, that's a little different, and that was okay. Like, yeah, doing the fight in the Coliseum place, that was fun.
And
liked
I
that
remember
fight.
how
What was his
hard Chimera was
Chimera,
the first
thank
time
you.
I did that.
You know, but people think of that as like, oh, there were 2 original bosses for this first part of the leg, when those were actually callbacks to 1.0.
But they were still part of the Relic Quest.
They were part of the Relic Quest. I will give you that. But like the thing is that I just, this is such an overreaction.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't think that it's saying that, look, we're just going to have to grind old content for the rest of this line. I think that they could arguably start reverting us to to newer stuff, or making stuff that is a part of this quest line.
You know what they need to do is they need to make the Relic quest line be COPs, where it has a whole bunch of tedious, monotonous shit, and then you go into a trial or a fight that's super fucking hard, and then maybe get a new zone that you have to go into, and
it's never going to happen.
Shit.
It's never going to happen.
That's what they need.
We're never going to get it. We're never going to get it. We're never going to get an exclusive zone where people can go.
But that's what they need to do.
I don't even know if you need that. I just think like epic boss fight at the end of the tedious grindy shit was what made it okay.
Yeah, I think that it's more. It actually makes sense to put some of those custom fights that you're doing for the quest line more towards the end of the grind.
Sure,
because I mean, like, it sort of made the relic feel like it tailed off. So if we put the challenge at the end instead of at the beginning, and then the grind at the beginning, we front load the grind. I think that actually presents a little bit better. I think we're going to get about the same level of content that we did with the 2.0 lines. It's just going to be mixed up in a different order. And the fact that people are overreacting about this, it's no worse than any of the books. It's no worse than any of the Mahatmas or any of that shit.
It's no worse than it because it is it.
I mean, it's token collecting. It's not even like you're competing for drops. You get it if you win. It's not that hard. And I don't think people are complaining about it being hard, just grindy. And they're just. I mean, I don't know. What did you expect? What did you expect?
I expected this 100%.
Exactly.
I think they need to go above and beyond what we are expecting them to do, and I think that we do need to have hard fights in this Relic Quest and actually have a requirement of skill in the Relic Quest line. But do I expect them to do it? No, not after Heaven's Ward.
Kooky posted a link to a change.org petition that just says, make the FF14 players that suck donkey dick get good.
Yeah, we've read that on the show before.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody want to read one of these other rants here?
Yeah, I got one.
All right.
This is from the official forum, so you know it's good.
Oh, yeah.
Title is, Does SE want us to go back to WoW? Because this is how you lose more players to WoW. Quote, WoW relic weapons come with an entire skill tree, trait tree, that you can customize to your playstyle, make your own weapons, have enemies explode on AoE damage when they die, or increase the crit chance of your most used skill by 10%, or doubling the effects of passive abilities gained from the weapon for a short time, or summon enemies you can kill for 10% of your mana. FFXI relic weapons, 2 random secondary stats you get no control over.
Holy shit, you sound like a Muppet.
For example, why would I grind for a Black Mage relic that has crit and det on it when there's a 210 spell speed and det, and another with spell speed and crit? Seriously, SE, Heaven's Ward has been an absolute train wreck. I sincerely hope that 3.2 is good, because at this moment, I'm done.
Waka waka.
There's no reason to continue my sub right now.
Yeah, I wish
Steve Frog here.
I sort of wish we had the cameras up, because while you were doing that, I was sort of doing a mock puppet hand over here.
Yeah.
About how I feel like the puppet would go to that voice. Wow, you put a lot of energy behind that.
I tried.
You would be a good Muppet.
Muppet?
Yeah,
Oh,
you would
great.
make a good Muppet. Yeah.
I'm happy about that. What would it look like?
I'm not sure it would change a ton.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Wow, that was a good one. How did Kahlo get one in here when he's not even in the studio?
God damn it.
But to be
This
fair,
is the joke
that guy's
that never ends. Because
phoned-
it goes on and on, my friend.
He phoned it in.
That's even better.
We were saying though that the relics would be better if they did end up coming with some kind of trait enhancing something or other to make it good. So I mean that's a fair complaint. But if anyone thinks it's going to happen in the 2.10 version rather than the like very end version at like 3.5, then they're delusional. But
yeah, absolutely. Again, if you want to, if you're upset, I'm kind of surprised that we're not hearing from Skuro. Skuro was very salty on Wednesday, and I'd like to hear if some of that salt has cooled. Or what? But I know that there were a lot of people in our chat were upset on Wednesday about the grind. So let's just talk about what the grind is. So the first step, if you have a Zeta weapon, you can totally skip this. And by the way, if you do have a Zeta weapon that you plan on turning in, make sure you go finish the quest over in what is that?
Fulgur Float.
Yeah, Fulgur Float. What's Hearst Mill? That's it. Thank you. And go talk to Jalzran and finish up that quest line. You'll be able to get access to a replica Zeta, which is the only reason that you would keep that weapon anyway. So go and turn those in. Skip the first part of your quest line. If you're not skipping it, you're going to have to go grind fates for essentially what are
Atma's 2.0.
There are 3 per zone that you have to get, and it's not bad. The drop rates are not abysmal like 2.0 Atma.
Yeah, it didn't seem too terrible.
Yeah, it seemed really reasonable. People were getting through them in a couple of days. The second part of the quest, you've got to go through a whole bunch of dungeons. Some 2.0 dungeons, you can go through them unsynced. Just make sure to equip your weapon at the end of the dungeon, Juxta.
Yeah, if you don't do that, you're a fucking moron. So
yes,
yeah,
Juxta.
you don't even have to kill the boss in it though. Just put it on before you exit.
Yes,
Yeah,
put it
it's
on
really
before
easy.
you exit. It's really.
And
Yeah.
if you have a hard time remembering that stuff, just put like a whole bunch of sticky notes on your monitor, and then you remember.
Or just keep it on. It's
Only
still a
after you
170
fuck it up
weapon.
twice.
You'll be fine in a 170 weapon.
Twice?
Just keep it on the whole
Twice.
time.
Yeah, Juxta here did it twice. And
I
then
messed it up
Kahlo did it right
once.
after him.
I messed it up once.
No.
That way.
Twice.
The second time I messed
No,
up,
you
it was because
keep
I was
making this excuse. This
I
is
was
a
wearing
bad
the
excuse.
shitty weapon for the whole dungeon, and then I put my good weapon at the end.
That's
no
even
better.
worse.
It
That's
is
even worse.
I'm just saying that it was 2 different kinds of fuck up.
Even worse. So you can do those unsynced, and then all of the Heaven's Word dungeons as well. Pretty easy. We grinded that out in a night.
Yeah. I had like 8 hours.
Yeah, it really wasn't that bad. Even with you forgetting twice to equip your weapon, it wasn't that bad. And then
Please tell me it wasn't the same dungeon.
No.
No.
Okay, thank you.
It was further down.
Yeah. And then the third part of the quest, you are.
This is the part where the shit is the fan.
This is where people are really complaining. But there are multiple legs to do this. There are multiple different ways to do this.
I think they did a good job on it.
I actually do. I agree. I think that this is pretty inventive. So you've got to exchange stuff for these. There's like an ore. What is it? An ore of
Ore, bone,
There's 4
shell,
things.
and seeds.
That's it. And so in order to, and you need 20 of each item.
20 of each.
And in order to exchange, there's an exchange rate on basically there's items that drop for clearing Alex Savage 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can collect those at an exchange rate of 10 to 1 token. And then there's some other, you can also exchange law and ESO. But
or you can do Beastman dailies.
Law is for specifically 2 items, and then ESO is specifically for 2.
Law and poetics.
Yes.
Law and poetics. I'm sorry, that's it. Yes. And then there's different Beastman vendors have them as well.
Yep. Almoja, Sahagin, Kobold, and Sylph.
Yes.
And then you can
Exali is not in there.
Or you can use Vanu for all of them.
Vanu for all of them.
Vanu for all of them. And then there's the treasure maps.
Oh, and apparently, you said Savage mode. It's Alex normal mode.
So I didn't mean to say Savage. It is
No
Alex
Savage.
normal. Sorry.
You could 2 of them you can use Heaven's Ward maps on, and 2 of them are Allied Seals for 1,000.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, there's so many ways.
Yeah, there is.
I don't see the problem.
I mean, it makes 2.0 hunts valid again, which is nice.
I just feel like if you've been playing the game a lot, you've probably got enough of that stuff stashed away to get a bunch of it done immediately.
Oh, yeah, and apparently treasure maps have a chance to drop them too.
A low chance.
Low chance, but I mean the treasure maps have skyrocketed in price. All the like low level soloable ones. I was just like dunking around on my 55 botanist and mined up a random low level one, and it sold for like $70K.
That's funny.
Because people are just buying the soloable ones for that chance at getting it.
So okay, so it's a lot of Alex normal grinding. That's mostly what it is.
But it's not as much as that, because if you consider how much Alex Normal you're doing, plus your roulettes and the law you get for doing that, every so often you can buy one with law and poetics.
Absolutely,
too.
yeah. I mean,
it's not as long as people think.
How long have you guys been capped on law and Poe? I mean, a long time. Forever.
No,
I was just glad to have something to spend them on again.
Yeah.
And now
I've been literally sitting there on 2000. Every time I go into a dungeon, it's like, you cannot get any more. I just feel like, what could I buy with these? None of it's worth anything.
Exactly. And so, what Square Enix always does with these relic quest lines is they're redirecting their community to old or underused content.
Alexander.
Old
content.
Now, I do have a complaint, and that is Coil is still sitting incredibly underutilized, and they could have redirected back to Coil, and I hope that they do.
Why does one of these items not drop out of T13?
I hope that they do. I hope that they do redirect to Coil through rewards and through incentives, because that's really the only way to. Because here's the thing. I don't think anyone struggled with Alex Normal. No percentage of the community had not cleared Alex Normal by now. Everyone who was going to clear it was going to clear it. You can queue up for randos and do it, okay? But there's a significant percentage of the community who either wasn't into raiding, couldn't get it done, or whatever, that has never cleared Coil. So it would be nice to be able to send players back there and
to help people through it.
Yeah,
especially because you can unsync it, so people would be probably more willing to be like, "Hey, I'll carry you through for some relic items."
Exactly. So now my hope is that that's something that they may do a little bit later on in the relic quest, because at this point now, if we were to go back to to just the first turn, I think that would be fair given where we are in eye level. But the second and third turns of Coil can still present a challenge unsynced right now. And you don't want your content to be grindy and super challenging. You want it to be something like Alex Normal, that everyone can basically just bang their dick against the keyboard, and unless they're total fucking retards, they're gonna clear it, okay? So, that's the kind of content that you need, and I think once we move that eye level forward a little bit, that we're gonna get closer to that place. At least that's my hope. So, I hope that Square Enix does eventually redirect us back there, but I understand why they didn't do it right off the rip.
You know what they should do? People are talking about CT. They should take that Crystal Tower weekly quest that nobody does and make the choices one of the 4.
Or add an item. Yes. One of the 4 items.
And they can redo that X Primal weekly quest.
Oh, yeah,
you had to go through and do all the X primals to get a weapon.
Yeah, I think they could. I think looking at the rewards from your weekly quests, I think that would be fair, especially if they're asking us to collect 20 of them. Yeah, I totally think that that's fair. And then there's actually another part that requires a bunch of crafting.
That goes along with it. It's a bunch of crafting shit, and I think you could just buy on the auction house.
Well, it's because basically you take those 20 items plus the crafted item to turn in for the item you actually give to Geralt.
Right.
So you don't turn in like the 20 of that item to Geralt.
Right.
So, and I think the 4 crafted things are required specialists of like 4 specific crafts, but I'm sure you can find someone that has it.
Yeah. So that's basically the quest right there. And again, I'm not sure why everyone's so upset. Maybe if we read a couple more of these forum posts, that we'll be able to unlock why people are upset.
All right, I got one.
All right.
The laziness in these patches has finally done it. I write this as a player since 1.0, knowing that I'm just venting, but 3.15 and 3.1 is finally the patch that has me unsubscribing.
Dun dun dun.
These patches have just gotten lazy. In Realm Reborn, they at first seemed like a large amounts of content, but they've turned into a formula of 4 raid bosses every 2 patches, a primal here and there, 2 to 3 shitty dungeons with recycled mechanics, a 24-man here and there that gets old after 2 weeks, and some throwaway padding bullshit that only stays relevant until the next patch, like Diadem. Now, we have the new Relic quest, which I feel should be challenging for the first step, but this is just lazy, grinding, no fun bullshit. I'm not saying this wasn't expected, but it's not even grinding new content. It's an excuse to rehash things we've been doing for months, and if that was the point, why wasn't it released with 3.0?
Hang on, he says you're not grinding new content? What do you mean, not new? What do you, like, as in 3.1 content?
Content?
Yeah, I mean, Alexander is 3.0 content. It's Heavensward content. Would people be more upset if they redirected us back to Coil, or less upset?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Probably
also,
more.
we couldn't even grind Alex Normal at first when it was first released in 3.0 anyway, because there was a weekly lockout.
They'd probably be more upset because Coil's probably harder than Alex's, even now.
Yeah, you think so?
I think it'd be I think it would look like a more defensible position to bitch from, so I think they'd be more upset. I don't know.
I'd be interested to know. Callers, chat room, let us know.
I played FF11, and I realized it could be much worse. But in a game where we've had a grind like this, had the same 4 endgame raid bosses for almost a half a year, there's no need to add a grind like this. Add new, fun endgame content. And don't promise this will be less grindy, / you learn from the original Atma and then just do it again. So I'm unsubscribing, and I encourage others who feel the same to do as well for now. I'm not saying it'll be forever, but I feel a message needs to be sent that we won't pay for this lazy, uninspired crap.
Oh, God!
Oh, it gets worse. Oh, it gets worse. You mean to tell me in all these months that this was the best they could do? Money talks, and after months of supporting this game I used to love, which I barely play anymore, I'm done wasting mine on this garbage. And here we go. Edit number 1, where he backpedals. Edit number 1. I apologize to anyone who took this as me trashing the game or making it sound like my opinion is fact. I do not think everyone does or should agree with me, nor that there aren't redeeming qualities in this game. I play other games and have regularly only play 4 or 5 hours a week at this point. I'm just saying I, myself, and many others I've seen love this game and are genuinely dissatisfied with the lack of diversity or originality in patches. If you still enjoy the game, by all means, keep playing. If you're over it, stop and save yourself money.
Yeah, but let me explain to you what you did here, okay? You encouraged other people to unsub, to quote-unquote send a message.
Bam.
First of all, your brand of Twitter activism is not going to get anyone's attention. No one. Congratulations. I'm glad that you got 372 internet points from this rant that you put up. But you know what? Even if you walk and you convince those 372 people that maybe you had a point, I'm going to say that, I don't know, maybe like 5 of them walked with you. Okay, I'm so sick of people like piping up and going, "Oh, I'm gonna take my money. You should walk away too." I don't even have that level of arrogance. Okay,
no,
not even me.
Play.
I know. I don't have that. I don't have. Even if I unsubscribed, okay, I would not encourage anyone else who listened to this program to do it, to quote unquote send a message, because it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't send a message. Being engaged actually sends a message.
From Malfested, on today's episode, Yo Sheep finds an unlikely ally in Limit Break Radio.
I know.
I'm honestly curious for anyone who might play on a Japanese server or read Japanese forums. What are the Japanese opinions on this relic?
I like the thing about his post.
Somebody flash the Arthur signal.
He's in the queue.
There. I know. He hosted us earlier. Right. That's what's up, Arthur.
The thing about this message is like, at the beginning, it kind of sounds like something we would say on an episode.
It does.
And then he gets to the point about encouraging others to unsubscribe, and it's like, well, never mind, that's not us.
Yeah.
And then he backpedals on it like, that's really not us.
Yeah.
Like, he started off trying to LBR it,
yeah,
and then it just fell apart.
Way to go. Way to go.
And let's point out that got him gold, so woo.
Congratulations for your internet badge that you have.
Melocatones?
Yeah. Well, we'll go with that. Who cares? But I just it just seems like again, and I'm not saying don't react, don't give them feedback. Absolutely give them feedback. Yeah. But what were you expecting? What exactly were you expecting?
Oh my
That's
God.
what I would like
I got
to know.
10,000 people to unsub today. Woo!
I just sent a message.
Yeah, what is the best case scenario for that post? I don't get it.
Even if you do encourage other people to leave, what is the point in having them check out of a community?
They're not coming back when it gets good.
Yeah, especially if you claim that you like the community or you like the game. How are you going to make it any better by just quitting or telling everyone to quit? What kind of message does that actually send?
That's actually I would say, for all of the shit that we do on this show, that's a message that's actually toxic. I hate that word. I hate using that word. But you know what? That's actually a message that does damage. And I'm not saying that because it's Square Enix's bottom line. I'm saying it because it encourages people to check out from the community, to go do other stuff.
Yeah, and if you want to stop subscribing, nobody's stopping you. But I feel like there's, there are ways to send a
Felicia,
message.
Get the fuck out. Nobody
sending
cares.
Actual feedback rather than just saying, we think it's lazy. Everybody throw down your feet and stamp around and
Exactly. Quit. That's exactly what that is. It's that I'm going to hold my breath and turn blue. You sit down, we'll lock arms brand of activism, and it's just fucking stupid.
Well, that's just it. When those people leave the community, the vast majority of them are not coming back if the game improves.
That's it. I mean, that person may or may not come back who wrote that. But if they're encouraging other people to just leave, and Reddit isn't. We've talked about this. There's a groupthink mentality that goes. Iane even confirmed that there's a lot of groupthink that happens in Reddit overall. So going there and fucking having a message like that, okay, that's nice, but you're an asshole. You're an asshole, and the game's better off without you. Bye. See ya. No one's gonna be sad if you leave, you non-contributing waste of space. Why don't you actually try coming up with some good suggestions? That's something that we do intrinsically on the show. We complain about a lot of stuff because there is stuff to complain about. This game is not perfect. We all know this, okay? But one of the things that we do intrinsically with our show is that we point out some flaws and then we go out of our way to suggest something that we may think would work. Now, I mean, Square Enix, I don't think ever takes those suggestions to heart, but you know what? At least we're trying. At least we're putting out some kind of positivity or some way to rethink the content and not just this blanket negativity and trying to rally people to your shitty fucking cause.
Have one of these posts we've read yet provided a single suggestion?
No.
I don't think so.
No, you know what you're doing? You're hashtag occupying Eorzea, you lazy pieces of trash. Fuck you. Fuck you. It's not enough that you're basically being handed a relic. And it's not enough that you know how much time that we have until the next fucking patch.
That's till February.
Quit being in such a goddamn hurry to poop sock this shit, man. Enjoy the grind. It gives you something to log in and do and work towards. I'm just happy to have something to work towards. I was done with ESOs. I could not care enough about ESOs if I tried. And Diadem didn't get it done for me. I tried to like Diadem, and I didn't really. And I gotta go. I have to admit, I haven't gone back since getting WT Fast. But you know what? I at least I'm trying to contribute something to the discussion. You non-contributing waste.
Another one?
Yeah, let's do another one.
Actually, Juxta, do you want to read this one about the Almas, or do you want me to?
You go ahead and read.
All right. The last time I got an Almas, I got a new weapon skill and an aftermath to go with it.
Look at you.
I really doubt I'll get something like that again with this game. This feels like these relics are another ride on the eye-level escalator of unremarkable gear. Next stop, more gear that has slightly higher stats. The stop after that, even more gear with slightly higher stats. Repeat until all subscribers are gone. It's getting old. Also getting old is FF11. If the grand plan is to grab the rest of the FF11 player base by naming the next line of eye-level stepping stones after the most successful line of prestige weapons from FF11, then those players won't be staying long enough to even make these weapons. That's debatable at best whether the Empyrean weapons were the most successful line.
Yeah.
Join FF14 and relive the enjoyment of crafting your Empyrean weapons, minus the lasting reward and those weapons represented and what those weapons represented in FF11. That won't attract anyone new because there is no payoff for doing the content. If you want to take something from FF11, then take away their ability to make the equipment that has a lasting appeal. That will get you their subscribers and make the game better for everyone playing it currently. If I go through the next 4 patches and keep making this relic, I expect a new job ability or weapon skill that I permanently learn on the character that will make a noticeable difference in the performance of my character.
Actually, I like that idea. That's a nice suggestion.
Yeah, but it's all it is just like, I want...
No, but think about it, though.
If I go through the next 4 patches...
Okay, when it's worded like that, yes. But I think if you actually look at it, if these relics are so grindy and so time consuming that you're not going to want to do more than 1 or 2, I can see how that could actually make your character and your class unique if at the very, very last stage you get a permanent weapon skill that nobody else will ever have.
I actually agree with Nika on this one.
I think that would be really cool.
No, that's a proper incentive. It's just he worded it like a 6-year-old child.
It horribly.
Yeah. Someone, I have a diaper rash. Will someone please wipe my bottom? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was worded horribly, but the point underneath it is right. If you're going to have a very grindy alternative to this, where you're going to spend a long time making and upgrading this weapon, having it just fall by the wayside, kind of like the 2.0 final relic did, sucks.
No, I agree.
So if you got something cool out of it at the end, yeah, I'm fine with that.
I think that way they could also not actually ever make it easier, and actually it would stay relevant even into like 5.0. If you went back and did this 3.0 relic, you'd get that weapon.
I totally agree. And we've been saying this for a long time. Exclusive abilities, exclusive armor, that is maybe a little bit more towards where it's going to the eye level is going to be at the end of the patch. All of this stuff is really good incentives, and if they added it, but you know what, it's not going to be there right off the rip. You're not going to get an ability right out of the first
it's not going to be until the very final
right,
yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, but no, I think that is something.
Expecting it now is stupid.
I think that I think expecting it now is stupid. I think that that's something that Square Enix definitely should take to heart, and I think if a good indication on whether or not something like that could happen, I think might lie in some of these materia adjustments.
Well, just real quick,
I'm thinking that we might get some new types of materia, and if we do, and it's attached to augmenting abilities specifically, I think that may be an indication on what way they want to take personal development in this game. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say the first response to that post, I think, is really interesting, because it says it's not like there isn't even a precedent for this. If you were lucky / masochistic enough to have a pair of Hermes sandals from 1.0, they have a hidden effect in 2.0 that doubles the duration of sprint while you're in town.
Yes.
I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah,
I have those.
Yeah, I have them.
Well, because in 1.0, sprint was only an ability you could get by playing like Lancer. That was it. It was like Lancer ability. So then if you had the Hermes shoes, you could actually use them like an item to sprint yourself.
I don't know that that's true.
Yeah, but back in 1.0, like you could actually, they had a charge.
I don't think it was a Lancer ability.
It was a something ability.
No.
Only one job could sprint. I remember changing to that job to sprint around.
I was like, I had sprint, but I wasn't Lancer, so
it doesn't. That did
some 1.0.
I don't know.
And I remember the Hermes shoes had a recharge of like 30 minutes, and you could just use them to sprint. And once 2.0 came out, they changed it so that when you're in towns, it doubles sprint instead. Because sprint was not an all-around ability in 1.0.
But the point is that there is a precedent for an item having a lasting impact on your character already in the game.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think that could be a cool idea. If you get to the very end of this relic line, you do it all, then you can get a permanent ability or a weapon skill or something like that,
or even a boost. Like a passive trait or something would be nice. anything. I mean, anything. But that is a good point. It's just don't word your points like a 6-year-old who...
And not a fucking minion, Essie. Not a fucking minion.
Well, I see some people in the chat even saying like that there's a problem with specializing in a job because then if you don't do that relic, you never get that specialist thing. But if you think about it, with the new crafter thing that they're doing, they make you choose 3 crafts to specialize.
Yeah.
And you'll never be able to make or like get the extra abilities and make the hard stuff for those other 3 crafts ever.
But you can always change.
Okay, so say they make us pick 3 jobs to specialize in the battle classes, and then if you wanted to, you could change.
That's
it,
about
lose that
Yeah,
ability.
but the barrier to changing is a lot smaller than a
Hang on.
relic.
That's about 3 jobs is about where most people I think max out.
Yeah,
where most like casual players will max out. Like
and that gives you 1 tank, 1 healer, 1 deeps.
Yeah, I mean, at any time, I only ever have 3 jobs at 60.
Yeah, but you're not going to do 3 relics. I'm not sure attaching it to with a relic.
There are some.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying it has to be attached to the relic.
The poop suckers are not part of this conversation.
I'm not saying that it has to be attached to the relic necessarily, but I think if they find some kind of way to be like, pick your 3 main jobs and you can specialize in this and get this weapon in this trait or whatever, and that be that. But but not make it so groundbreaking that like if you play a class you didn't specialize in that you like can't clear the hardest raid or something. I mean, they shouldn't do that.
Yeah. They did do it to great effect in 11.
All right. So following up off that point, Crimson Kia says if the new Dragoon relic made faint on off global cooldown ability, that would totally be awesome. That right there would be enough.
Yeah.
Like I would get the relic for that.
Yeah. I mean that's a great point.
Oh my god, Paladin relic makes it so that oaths can be used off cooldown.
There you go.
Boom.
Please.
These are legitimate things.
But that does bring back it's sort of like how in 11 where if you wanted a bard it was like Galhorn, get the fuck out.
Yallarhorn.
Right.
Yeah. So
But the thing is that you can still play a paladin without having it on global cooldown, but if you happen to get a specialized paladin, just a little bit better.
I think you know what I actually think that that's a little bit of what this game needs.
Specialization?
Yes. Specialization,
uniqueness,
competition, a way for we talked last time about like an objective number that people like if you were able to push DPS or something like that,
right.
An objective number that wasn't necessarily attached system side but would have a community meaning to be able to objectively gauge player skill. Even there's a version of that with glory gear too. That I think that is a very real thing.
Well,
big milestones that you pass.
We've been talking about that as far back as the job homogenization episode, where we talked about how no matter who you play with, it felt like you were playing with the same people, no matter who they were. If you could see that, where you could have like, okay, here's a paladin who can swap oath off global cooldown. Okay, that's gonna make that paladin play differently than any other paladin.
Fair enough.
Right, but it's not like any other paladin can't do it.
Right.
Or it can't clear the content. It would just be something that would be a little bit of a bonus to having a specialized paladin. Which would be cool.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. So yeah. Anyway, you said we had like 9 people lined up. Let's take.
We only have 14.
Holy shit!
Okay.
So can we get to callers? Can we get to callers now?
Let's get to callers.
Let's go to the phone lines.
All right, we got Sayu, Mayor of Hyperion, and he's on the line. Are you there?
Welcome to Limit Break Radio.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Thanks for calling in.
So I just kind of want to echo everything that's been said here. I know it's probably not what you guys want to hear as first off, but I mean, I for one am tired of hearing everybody on like Reddit, Twitter, whatever have you, just feeling so entitled.
Caller, I like what you're saying, but can you sing it to us? We're kind of spoiled after last week. Like, I'm just not sure I can listen to people talk anymore.
Wow.
I don't know. I can't really sing, but
oh, all right.
We'll give you a pass, fine. But yeah, no, it is entitled whining is all it is. It's not fast. I can't do it fast enough. Is really that's kind of like the bulk of the argument is that it's too much. It's too grindy. It's too much. It's really actually not that much. Really...
Yeah, I mean, you hear all these arguments about like how many Alex runs it'll take you to do this. Like, do all of you really need to fucking poop sock all this at one time?
No, No, enjoy the grind. You have a long time until the next piece of relevant
if you just
content.
do your roulettes and just do like maybe even 1 or 2 Alex runs a day plus your roulettes every single day, you'll have it in a couple months. You'll have it by the next patch.
And do some Beastman content that you've obviously never done because you don't know that there's any content in this game besides the straight up vertical progression.
Exactly. In fact, I was actually really glad about the Beastman Tribe quest because I've never done them and it gives me a fucking reason to do them.
Yeah, I haven't touched the Beast Tribe quest. I'm actually looking forward to going back and doing them now.
They're not bad. I'm having fun with
I look forward to
the
actually
final Beastman quest from the 2.0 Beastman Tribes is really cool though. Like once you complete all of them, there's one final quest that involves all of them. It's really cool.
Cool, I can't wait.
It's worth doing.
I really never had the time to do it before, but now that there's like a real reason, I might just invest some time into it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, if you don't have the Beastmen Tribes done, then you are super fucked because you only get the tokens for the very last set of quests. So
but you know what? I need the XP from it too. So I'm getting the XP. I was kind of considering doing them just on their own for the XP. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, because I didn't poop sock all my jobs to 60.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you could subtitle this, a word of warning about poop socking. But because I didn't poop sock all my jobs, I have stuff left to do. Because I didn't poop sock all of the Beastman Tribe quests, I have stuff that I can do. So I am benefiting from it. It's not a total waste to do it. And so I'm working towards getting towards the last tier of all the Beastmen. You know what? I think that's fair.
Frosty Betrayer says, no Limit Break Radio. I need to hurry up and play the game so that I don't have to play the game anymore.
Exactly.
Yep, that seems to be
That's what it's like.
mentality.
Come on, everyone.
Exactly.
Like, we've been sitting around doing nothing when we're in game because 3.1 was a horrendous disappointment. It's like, what do you want to do? Just sit around in Idleshire more?
Yeah.
That's been a party.
I know.
Well, here's my other thing about it. It's like, you're going to go get this weapon. You're bitching about how slow you're getting it. What exactly are you going to do with it once you get it? It's definitely not going to be Alex Savage. Otherwise, you wouldn't be bitching about this in the first place.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Wow, that is well said, actually.
Yeah, that is a really good point because pretty much people who go this route. I mean, raiders will also go this route. You know, the raiding community will also do these as well. But anyone who goes this route pretty much has no reason to do Alex Savage anymore. So... I mean, I agree. What are people complaining about? I don't understand it. Anyway, thank you so much for the call. You got any shout outs?
Titanium Free Company on Hyperion.
That's what's up. Thank you very much for the call. Was it Seo Mayo? Seo Mayo. Thank you so much. If you want to call up Limit Break Radio, send a Skype message to the Skype account Limit Break Radio or 810-515-8715. A lot of people really expected me to go off and be really, really upset about this quest line.
I don't get why, because a lot of it is kind of what we've called for.
I know, and the thing is that I don't mean to disappoint. I don't want to disappoint your audience, but
is there anything else going on in your life that maybe you're mad about? You want to rage about something else?
We'll talk about that a little bit. Okay. Yeah. There's some stuff. There's definitely stuff.
Oh, has some shit been going on?
Yeah, there's definitely some shit that's going on. So let's get a couple more calls lined up here, and I don't know, Scotty, did you want to read one more comment here? We had one more post.
Yeah, we got a few more, but they're all long as shit.
Yeah, these start getting into rant territories.
Let's do this one. Let's see what we got here. You have to go through like 3 links to get to them.
I know, yeah.
Okay, this one's short. That's good.
At least there's that.
Yeah, right? Reddit. What tasks would you instead have players do to attain Anima Weapons? I actually kind of like this. Sounds promising.
This is
calling for solutions.
No, it does, and he asks for people to reply.
Absolutely, and this is a great example of some of the good threads that do happen on Reddit.
Yes.
And
we don't want to just say that we're pulling out the bad ones.
Yeah, there were actually some really good suggestions in the comment section here. So,
all right, so. With people harping at how not fun and uninspired the Anima grind is, I was wondering what fun tasks people could come up with to do instead. Maybe some out-of-the-box ideas can gain popularity and the devs could notice. Here are a few guidelines to be fair. You cannot make new trials or dungeons. You must stick with current content, though small changes could be made like using instances. The players require a significant. Do we need to go through all these?
No.
Okay.
No. Let's get to the suggestions.
Yeah. Okay. So here's some suggestions that we get. In addition to the currently available methods, once per week you can gain the quest Return of the Eld by completing either both Ravana and Bismarck normal, or either Bismarck Extreme or Ravana Extreme.
That's so obvious. That's kind of what I thought was.
How
going
is
to
that
be part
not
of it.
there?
I think it's almost too obvious, though.
Okay.
I mean, like, I feel like, dude, we had primals as such a big part of the 2.0 relic grind that it's actually, I think, kind of nice to get away from the primals.
Okay.
I feel like a requirement for the grinding content has to be that you can't fail at it.
Well, I mean, you can fail at Alex normal if you really, really try.
Within reason.
Within reason.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. That's
no,
what
but
I was. I think that's what I was getting at with my coil
Right,
comments
yeah.
earlier. Is
But
that
see,
it's still failable now?
Right.
But Juxta, what I think is that I think it's okay to be failable if it's just one of many options. Like, that's what's good about this relic, is they give you like 5 or 6 ways to get each item.
Right.
If the only way to get that item was by clearing Ravana, then I would understand. But since there's like 5 or 6 other ways, making another way by bringing some people back into Bismarck and Ravana, I think would be useful.
See, I think that they could find additional outputs for tokens, like you were saying earlier, Nika. Like having a token drop out of maybe the end of CT or the weekly repeat quests, or having one of the 4 tokens drop out of some of the coils. But I think the reason that they haven't repurposed that content yet is because they're going to repurpose it a little bit later on down the line.
Maybe, but I feel like we have new tokens they added in for the Alex normals. I feel like when they already have tokens in things like Ravana and Thornton, where instead of 10 tokens to get a relic, you can take those 10 or 15 and get an item for the new relic. I don't see why not.
We mentioned this one. Add the relic items as a possible reward for completing Gift for the Archmagus.
Yeah.
Once per week, players can obtain 3 uncharged Dalamud cores. The first core would require the players to complete T1 through 5, the second one T6 through 9, third one T10 through 13, and each one can be traded in for a single relic item.
And these are kind of really similar to a lot of the stuff.
Obvious.
What we've been talking about.
Yeah.
I like the idea of weekly locks with less total hours needed to complete. He doesn't really make any good suggestions.
See, but like again, I feel like all of these suggestions are stuff that they could look at in the future. I mean, this is only the first leg of this.
Right, they might still. Maybe the reason they didn't do the Ravana Bismarck thing is because they're planning on adding some more primals, and they don't think 2 is enough.
Well,
I don't know.
Here's one. Everything you listed in addition to being able to purchase the items with wolf marks.
Yeah, okay.
PvP?
That's fair.
I like that.
That's fair.
How about Grand Company seals?
It would have at least satisfied Joe Never.
I like the idea of being able to use PvP.
That would get more people into PvP. I just feel like having multiple ways is a good idea.
PvP's dead right now. PvP's super, super dead right now because no one needs ESOs.
And because the gear sucks ass.
Yeah.
It looks awful.
Yeah. And honestly, like everyone's kind of more focused on pose and laws right now because you get weapon upgrade items out of it. So, I think that would that's actually kind of a good suggestion there. But I mean, there's a lot of people that think that that Ravana and Bismarck EX should have been the gate. Should have been, like that should have been step 2 instead of having to go through all of the dungeons. And I guess I have a little bit more sympathy with that point of view. But honestly, why was that ever an expectation of yours? With everything that Square Enix has given us inside of the last year, why would you think that would even be a remote possibility? They're not going to challenge their player base to that degree right out of the gate. Would have been nice. I agree with you. Would have been nice. Not going to happen. Unreasonable
it is only the first step. I do think. I think if we can look at the first step as any indication, if the first step is this long and grindy, can you imagine what the last step's going to be? It's going to be worse. Yeah. And so I think they could utilize all of these for that.
See, that's the thing. I think that if it starts grindy and it goes to challenging, that's a better way to do it than start it off with challenging and go to grindy. I think that is
I agree.
That I think hurts player sentiment in the long run. So anyway, do we have another caller? Do we have somebody else on the line here?
Yes, we do have another caller on the line. We have. Where the fuck? Shiro Heartslart from Excalibur on the line.
You slaughtered that name.
I was taken off guard.
It's Heart Slot, I would imagine.
Heart, what'd I say?
Hearts and farts.
Heart Slart, I think.
Heart's Slot.
Heart Slot. Hi, welcome to Limit Break Radio. How you doing?
Hello, everybody. And by the way, it is Heart Slot, as in onslaught. Just take off the on and put on heart on it.
That's
Aniero was right.
See, I was right.
Yes, he was.
All right,
Probably because you had seen my name years ago, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, that's true. All right, what do you want to talk about today, Heart Slot?
All right, first off, my general assault is only towards the fact that why did they have to fucking release Lords of Vermilion first versus just the whole give us the relic right at 3.1? I think a lot of people would have been mostly not disappointed by the 3.1 release if they had gotten the fucking relic and some content that more than 5% of the population
I don't know. If this update had been only St. Endelum Scholasticate and fucking Lords of Vermilion, I think we would be losing our shit right now. We would have been
Can you imagine?
fucking furious.
Okay, 3.1 hits, and they release this relic grind. People are pissed off, and then 3.15 hits, and they release
Lords of
Vermilion.
Yeah.
Here you go. And everyone's just like, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it would be horrifying.
I think that, oh man, people would have been pissed. And I think actually 3.15 is an appropriate place to put it, because now it gives us
something to do in the lull before 3.2.
Yeah, but it's not like 3 months worth of time, because I think 3 months is like too much. People would feel like, this is cushy. I've got tons of time. I don't need to work on it. With putting it in 3.15, you've got like 2 months. Right? So that is it's just a smaller window. I honestly think that people would have been fucking furious if Lords of Vermilion had come out. Personally, I think Lords of Vermilion would have been a way better addition towards like the 3.4, 3.5 series of patches once we're more later down the line, because we had already gotten the stuff with Triple Triad. We had already gotten the stuff with the Gold Saucer so close to the release of 3.0. So if they had spaced that out a little bit more and said, okay, we're going to support Gold Saucer at about the same point in the 2.0 structure that we did, I think that would have been a little bit better. It would have presented a little bit better. But that's just my opinion. Lords of Vermilion getting a shitload of flack. Nobody likes it. No, there's not a single. Nobody likes Lords of Vermilion.
If you're a caller out there and you like Lords of Vermilion, call in and tell us why. We will put you at the front of the line.
All right. My other piece of salt with the general community is that I am a person in IRL who works on software and has had to deal with the customers on the front line as a software engineer. I will tell you right now, most of you who are saying that you are bitchy about the content and then have no other ideas, one, get the fuck out of this game. You are nothing but toxic.
Yeah.
Okay?
You're a waste.
I had to tell off customers at multi-billion-dollar corporations to say, this is what you asked for. This is what you purchased. What more do you want?
Yeah. The expectations have to be reasonable coming from the community.
That says it all. There's nothing like reasonable expectations to be able to go into it. Now, however, would it be great if the FFXIV community team would be a little bit more open towards it, literally having a member of the software engineering team having a suggestion box and parsing through them and saying, hey, here's why or here's why not, we can do this, and open up that line of communication a little bit better? Yes, that would be great, because I've had results with that in the past in my line of work.
I think if you were to ask Square Enix, that their response to that would be that they do, and that's what the live letter is. Now, we can sit here and argue all day about the efficacy of that, because we all know that the questions that are asked to Yoshi P are highly filtered. They're never really that relevant.
Exactly.
They're super softball questions. So, that's, if I think if there were a couple of harder questions that he would answer, regularly, if he answered a couple of very challenging questions, because he's done that before, like when talking about the 1.0 failure, he was very candid about it. When talking about,
well, it's easy to be candid about what's not your failure.
When talking about, some of the struggles of the 2.0 raid structure,
sure.
He's been very transparent about this stuff before. And I think that, for the most part, the player community gives him a pass because he does the live letters and he is communicative. But at what point, I think mostly people identify it as softball questions. And I think that's why people get a little bit annoyed with it, and that there isn't that, a little bit more of that sense that we get a direct connection with the developers.
Almost every live letter, you get to the question answer session, and you can pretty much turn it off at that point. You're not going to find out anything of substance.
Yep.
If you do, it's once in a blue moon. The last time I can actually think of getting something answered of substance was, I think, a little bit before Heaven's Ward.
Yeah. Well, and they kind of select which media groups talk to them based on what kind of questions they get, whether they like the questions. I seem to recall that Blue Garter had once asked a question about mods and an API, and since then have not been granted any more interviews.
Yeah.
So when you are that selective about who you talk to and only want to talk to media that's not going to challenge you, then that's the kind of results that you're going to get. That's the kind of player sentiment that you're going to get. I don't think that I don't think that you're off base heart slot. I think that sentiment definitely exists out there, and that perception definitely exists out there. But I got to give Square Enix this. They're trying. They didn't try it all in 11, and they're at least trying to at least open player communication, and they do take a lot of the feedback seriously, although it may not be direct one-to-one feedback.
The sentiment in 11 was straight up, you will like what we give you, deal with it.
And you know what? Sometimes that was appropriate.
It was. Absolutely.
Sometimes from the point of a development company, like that was absolutely appropriate to say, no, quit your bitching. This is the content that you have. Deal with it. I think that's totally fair for a developer to be able to say.
There's a give and take. At what point does it become SE not listening versus letting the inmates run the asylum?
Absolutely. And I do think that they are trying to strike more of a balance, but they haven't totally found it yet. In some instances, the vocal minority ends up winning out. Look at story mode. Mm-hmm. Story mode is a perfect example of the vocal minority in this game who spoke up and begged and whined and cried until they got their way. And look what happened when they did. I hope you enjoy it, because you got to do it 800 times now, dickweeds. You asked for this. You asked for the fucking story mode. You got it. You got to do it a lot now, but you got it. I hope you enjoyed it. Way to go.
Now, here's my question when it comes to those live letter questions. Who picks those questions? Have we ever gotten any kind of confirmation on who chooses those questions? Because I can't help but feel like if Yoshi picked the questions, anything that was asked of him, he might just answer. And I feel like SE's like, let's filter these down, because he'll just probably blurt out the answer.
Yeah.
He has a way of doing that.
Oh, I would agree, because I'll be honest, I have been told on a number of occasions to shut my mouth by corporate bosses. Reason why I work with a startup now.
There you go.
I flipped my last employer, the bird, for doing that to me.
There you go. Well, thank you very much for giving us a call here, Heart Slot. You got any shout-outs?
Shout outs to the Arcadian Guard FC on Excalibur, especially for funding my melding habit. And if anybody needs specialization items, come talk to me on XCal. I swear you will get a good deal. Thank you, guys.
There you go. Thanks for giving us a call today, Heart Slot. We really appreciate it. If you'd like to be a caller to Limit Break Radio, send a message, Skype message to Limit Break Radio. Let us know what your character name and your server is, or you can just give us a call, 810-515-8715. We will take your call as best we can if you're calling in over the phone line. It may ring a bunch, especially if we're already on the line with someone. You may get a voicemail mailbox. Feel free to leave us a voicemail. We may play it on the show. We may not. But we do have that available. If you do get the voicemail, just try back in a couple of minutes. Wait till you hear a call end on the air. That's usually a pretty good time that you might be able to just squeeze in. So anyway,
guys, we got to get over to Excalibur. We got the hookup over there,
right?
Get some melted stuff.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But yeah, I a lot of good points there. And from the point of view of the development team, they have a job at figuring out which content is being underutilized and trying to direct players back there through new content like building a relic. That's always what the 2.0 relics were kind of founded on.
Right.
It was always, hey, here's fates. Nobody's doing fates anymore. Fates are totally empty. And so, people who are out there trying to solo fates, let's reinvigorate fates.
And to be honest, that kind of surprised me with this relic because even less people are doing Heaven's Ward fates, and they give the option to skip those fates with this new relic. So.
Right.
But then that also confused me too, because I saw so many fate parties in the Party Finder the last last week.
A lot of people didn't actually finish their last stage of the relic.
Why?
A lot of people didn't.
Time.
I didn't do it.
It was so easy.
I didn't do it. Who cares though?
You're so bad.
What? Now I have to do a couple of fates in Heaven's Ward? Oh no. We knew whatever that we were going to be able to skip wasn't going to be a big deal. So it's okay, I can put in 10 hours finishing up my relic weapon. Or
I think that's fair. I don't think any of the Heaven's Word fates were totally, completely out of tune. The 2.0 fates. While everyone was leveling, they had to go back and readjust them and make them stronger so they weren't up for 10 seconds while everyone mobbed them in Costa del Sol. So after they went back and did that, they had to go back and then readjust them for the smaller party sizes. And then again, after they started rerouting people back there during the relic quest.
Mm-hmm. Guys, we have a caller calling in who wants to talk about how good Lords of Vermilion is.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Caller, are you there?
What the fuck does it take to get into my own damn show?
Oh, jeez.
Apparently calling in and telling Jux that I want to talk about Lords of Vermilion because we know how into that he is.
Oh,
fuck
my
Lords of
God.
Where are you?
Where am I?
Yeah, where are you? You should
better be in the gold saucer.
I am out trying to earn a living, okay?
Uh-huh.
So that's where I'm at. I'm out working. And I just wanted to take some time and call in and make sure that you weren't bullying Juxta in the bet because I'm not there. That's what I wanted to make sure of.
Yeah, hang on. We took an entire 30 minutes out of the front part of the show to give you guys credit.
The fun part of the show? We have a fun part?
No, the front part. First part. The front part.
Oh, the first part. Okay, that makes more sense. Well, good.
You
don't give him too much credit, though, because he's been slacking since the nut kick.
God.
Oh, well, hold on. I drank that Satan's asshole.
Yeah, and how much goading did that take to get you to join in?
$60.
Yeah, exactly. And you almost didn't do it. It was 1 minute away.
Hey, he's helping out the team, man. I mean, he got you $60 more.
This is true.
And fans are throwing money at Aniero and I to try to get us to do it. We didn't even say we would.
Yeah, that wasn't even on the table. It wasn't even an option.
Jeez. Fans, come on. You got to get them to agree to it before you throw your money at them.
All right,
get your money up front.
So we've been taking callers and reading some of the reactions to 3.15, the Anima Weapons.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we only have you for a few minutes because you've got to go back to being a wage slave. But why don't you
productive member of society?
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and let us know what your thoughts and feelings about the Anima Weapons are?
Well, I haven't had a chance yet to look over some of the reactions on why people are so upset about it, but
they're all angry.
I think this is a step in the right direction because except for the first step so far, the whole Atma thing, again, which isn't as bad as it was, what I like about this is everyone's complaining that I've seen that it's so daunting. It's going to take forever, right? Well, isn't that what we wanted? relics are supposed to be some type of status symbol. They're supposed to be something that takes a long-ass time to get and take a lot of effort to get. At the same time, there isn't anything that's stopping anybody from doing it besides time. You don't have to go into savage, raids or anything like that, or dedicate yourself to any kind of static. Therefore, I feel like it's trying to appeal to both sides, the people that want it to take a long time and want it to be a challenge, and then the people who think that everybody should have a go at it, right? So as long as you have the time and the effort to dedicate to it, you can get it no matter how long it takes, and I think that that's looking to strike a pretty equal balance.
That's fair. I agree with a lot of those sentiments. And dude, so many people expected us to come out of the gate with the salt, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Everyone thought we were going to be pissed.
Yeah, a lot of people expecting us to be pissed.
Which I thought was interesting. The other thing I like about it too is because there's nothing in this one besides the Atma at the beginning that's left to random chance. So every single time that you sit down to grind away at your Atma, you know that you're making progress. You can see that goalpost getting a little bit closer every time.
Right. Yeah, no, that's I think that's a good point. So where are you on your relic advancement?
As of last night, I have 12 of the 80 required tokens.
Wow.
He's farther than me.
Yeah, I think he's farther than all of us.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been plugging away. I was streaming last night for, I was probably on for 7 or 8 hours just doing that with people. I had a good 40 to 60 people the whole time. So.
Wow. That's awesome, dude.
Wow. I'm very impressed. Well, thanks, Kala, for giving us a call and letting us know your thoughts about that. So
there's our one Verminion call.
Hey, I do have another question before I know, and I know you don't have a ton of time, but I do have another question before you go. So, how do you feel about the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 being complete? Does that make you feel pretty good?
I almost hung up on you. I looked at the button. I looked at the fucking button there.
So how is that? You excited? It's gonna be. I guess it's gonna be coming out pretty soon. Come on, dude. You gotta be. Come on. You're such a FF7 fan. How can you not be excited for this?
I don't have a PS4, so I'm supposed to get excited about it.
Looks like.
Well, we need a PS4.
I know. I think we're going to have to fix that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'll talk to you later, asshole.
Yeah. You have a good one. Enjoy.
I miss you so much it hurts sometimes.
Wild guess who that was from. Oh, is he gone? I think he's gone. Yeah. All right. Kala Landis, everyone.
Well, that's what it took for us to get a Verminion call.
I was really hoping that he would hang up. That I really just wanted him to hang up. That's what I was hoping for. Give us a call, 810-515-8715, just like Kala did, or Limit Break Radio on Skype. Let's get another couple of calls going here as well. But we've had some emails. Boy, did we get some emails about this in the last couple of weeks.
What a shocker. We got more emails.
I know, right? I want to thank everyone who wrote in an email. If you want to join the legions of people that send us email each week, hosts at limitbreakradio.com. We're happy to read as many of them as humanly possible on the show.
Isn't it amazing when you see some other shows like begging for emails?
I know. It's
what
so
must that be
sad.
like? I can't even remember.
It's so sad. Actually, you know what? Before we move officially into emails, there was also St. Endelin Scholasticate. I've not done it. I've not touched it. Not done any. Has anyone?
I hear you can do it really fast.
I've
but I haven't done it yet. Is it quick?
Is it good?
Okay. I think it's a good setup for something that's going to be bigger and coming. Like it's got like a little bit. It's basically the basic plot of it, without spoiling anything, is like, okay, ever since, and I mean, it couldn't have come out with 3.0 because it's the end of the story. Like, ever since we've discovered that what's his face is, he was been teaching us all lies, we have to reevaluate the school's curriculum. And so because of that, there's a whole bunch of shit going on inside of the school. And so all of a sudden then you discover that there's some kind of like underlying plot to eliminate this certain tome of something that's going on, and it's a mystery because people are disappearing.
I thought you said you weren't going to spoil.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then it like stops.
Is it funny?
So no, not yet. I mean, it has the one guy, Brearden, that is the other inspector from the Hildebrand quest.
Right,
called it.
So it has him in it. And it kind of seems like it's going in that direction, where I wouldn't be surprised if Hildebrand shows up eventually.
Yeah.
But it's not funny yet. It really is like, there's some big conspiracy going on in this school, and then it kind of stops before it really gets into anything.
But the way you describe it there, it's so frustrating to hear. You describe it as you feel like it's building up to something bigger, or setting the ground for something bigger.
And
I hate hearing that because I feel like we've been saying that about every fucking thing that comes out since 3.0.
Yeah, Heaven's Word has.
God, when is something of substance gonna get here?
I know.
Diadem, it's cool and it sets up for something bigger. It's not there yet, but it sets up for something. All right, great. When's the meat and potatoes coming?
Yeah.
Tired of the appetizers.
Just let me know when the show starts.
Yeah, really.
That, exactly.
Yeah. All right, we got somebody else on the line here?
No.
What are you doing?
I was letting go
with your life.
Read an email.
No, you're supposed to be getting somebody ready and have them on the line.
Well,
that's why we were going to email. To kind of give you enough time.
All right, this one comes from Shady Grove of Mateus.
You failure.
Okay, well, we got someone on the line.
God damn it.
We have... Oh, jeez. Okay, we got... Where the fuck...
Can you be good at your job once?
No.
And this is the person who said to me that he was going to be here today because he didn't trust me to do it.
Oh, my
Exactly.
God.
That's a pretty low bar for you. We got Shinta Sin of Ultros on the line.
Shinta Sin, how's it going, man?
Oh my God, it fucking goes. It goes.
Glad to hear from you.
Are you calling in because you're a Verminion fan?
Oh yeah, totally.
All right.
No, I'm not calling for that. Nobody should ever call in for that. If they ever call in for that, they should just go ahead and fork over their subscription fees for mine. Because I'm going to do something worthwhile in the game.
You see, this is why no one calls in about Lords of Dominions, because they're going to get beat up the second they call in.
The
four people that like the thing aren't ever going to talk about it. It's terrible.
It's like people who are into that German porn that we were talking about last time. You don't talk about that.
At least not in polite company.
All right.
We're polite company.
I never said that.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to... I'm going to go ahead and start out by saying this with the whole grind thing. I don't really mind grinds so much. My problem with grinds is luck-based grinds. I can't stand luck-based grinds.
That's fair.
I could definitely put in a bunch of work to, do something that's, measurable part of completion, you could say, like maybe the last phase of the new Relic quest line. That's measurable completion. You kill Alexander, you're one step closer to it, definitely. With the Fates, I leveled my Dragoon from 57 to 60, and I still didn't finish getting all my crystals.
I cannot disagree harder, though.
You know what this sounds like? This sounds like someone who does not have the favor of RNGesus.
Yeah.
No, I do not have the favor of RNGesus.
Well, then you're a little bit biased, I think.
Like, no, there's like, okay, I couldn't disagree. I hate the grinds where you actually just have your 0 to 60 and keep grinding until that bar says 60. I like it when you have that, there's that exciting chance, oh, maybe I'll get it on the first or second try here.
Yeah.
And then, because that happens occasionally, like where you get it real quick and you're like, boom, 1/13 of it checked off.
Initially,
the thing, it does happen. But it happens to other people that want to brag about it. And I kind of wish by the end of that, it was like the end of Jay and Silent Bob, where I just get a list of all those people, and I get free plane tickets to go over to their houses and just call out the name and from what server they're on. Like, all right, you got 2 of the crystals within 3 fates? And you're like, yeah. I'm like, cool. Just throw the paper away and just like take their computer and smash it to the ground.
Shinta-san, you have been forsaken by RNGesus.
Yeah.
And you are angry about it.
You don't even want to... I had PTSD from the Atma grind stage. The Atma grind stage was the worst thing that could have ever happened to me on Relic.
My worst experience with the first Atma grind was grinding for like 7 hours only to find out I already had it. That happened to me one time.
Oh,
Congrats, you're a moron.
Oh, wow. That was horrible.
You are stupid.
Oh, it was horrible.
You are stupid. Wow. Who does that?
Me and a lot of other people, as it turns out.
Oh, my God.
But... I leveled from 57 to 60 on my Dragoon, still didn't get all the crystals, got 3/4 of the way to Bard from 50 to 51, and then I finally got it.
There it is. Bryson, 1990 says, the books were worse. The books were worse than the Atma, and I agree.
I agree with
that. The books
that.
took forever, and they were slow.
I can't really say that the books were worse because at least I knew that when I did something towards the book, at least I knew that there was some sort of measurable consideration that I got credit for it towards the grind.
Yeah, but that's literally what we're dealing with here. I mean, despite the fact that it's 800 Alex runs, it's not just 800 Alex runs. It comes from the tokens come from a variety of places, but even if it was, I don't think that's that bad.
My complaint isn't with phase 2 or phase 3. My only complaint was phase 1, where it's just basically luck dependent.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, like you said, if you don't have the favor of RNGesus, you're pretty much there forever. And unfortunately, I never have luck with RNGesus. You don't even want to know the shit I had to deal with in Final Fantasy XI just to get gear. It was fucking terrible. Percentages don't mean shit.
Okay, well, you know what? You can go grind out your Zeta and turn that in instead of doing the Fates.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's the second complaint. When I heard that Dark Knight was coming, I was like, well, there's no fucking reason. I was a main paladin. I'm like, there's no fucking reason to do this. I'm not going to put work into a job. I'm literally going to throw it away.
They had said for a long time, we've talked about it on this show a bunch, that they already knew that they were going to give Zeta weapon holders a leg up on this quest.
Well, yeah, but I always thought that with that particular leg up, it was to be associated with the job for it. So I didn't know that you could just turn in any weapon for
it's
any
exactly
job.
your fault, idiot.
Why would they do that, though? Why would they lock it by job and introduce 3 new jobs and tell the 3 new jobs to just go fuck off? I mean, like, granted, that's what they could have done, but they have none of their development pattern indicates that that's something that they would do.
Well, in this particular case, this is the first time that they're doing like a relic pattern from at least from 2.0 going into 3.0. Technically, I didn't even know what to really expect. I didn't know if this was anything in 1.0. I did not play 1.0.
Yeah, nobody really knew what to expect, but we could kind of reasonably lay out what was a reasonable expectation and what wasn't. I think we all had hopes. And again, we talked about it a ton on this program before. What were the possibilities for these new stage relics, and what kind of advantage would you get from completing your Zeta? And I mean, it's hard for me to have sympathy with anyone who didn't finish a Zeta, because Kahlo got in for the fucking deadline. Okay, if Kahlo can get in for the deadline, anyone can get in for the deadline. Okay.
Except number 6 over here.
Well, apparently,
but I don't care. I'm fine with going to do the Heaven's Ward Fates.
Yeah, at least he's not bitching about it.
That's fair enough.
So that's I get that RNGesus may not favor you, and it may be your inclination.
Again, it's not the make or break of it all. That's my only complaint, and it's done. I did it. I just, fucking slept through it. It's not going to be something I'm going to make a fucking 5-paragraph post about in the official forums and claim that I'm going to fucking quit over.
Thank you for that, by the way.
How long did it take you?
Days. It pretty much, literally just completed it today. If we had to talk about it in the context of leveling and active time, like I mentioned before, I leveled from 57 to 60 on Dragoon, and then I got 3/4 of the way from 50 to 51 on Archer.
But I just don't think it's it's that bad.
I'm sorry.
No,
don't get me wrong. The Atma grind was definitely worse, but it's just, and this is just only me personally, I just cringe at luck-based grinding. That's just me, though. I don't think it's the worst thing that's ever been developed ever, but it's just only me.
I think people hear the word luck-based grinding this day, and it's got such a stigma attached to it that it's worse in their minds than it is.
But what are your choices? If you're not going to use RNGesus, what's your other choice? It's grinding. It's repetitive. So
right, and the last stage is definitely that, and I'm going to enjoy the hell of the last stage, because whatever, I could do Alexander all day, all night. I really don't care, and I know that every time I complete it, it's going to go towards something. I don't really mind it. Like I said before, I don't really mind grinds. My only beef is luck-based grinds. That's just personally my preference. It may not be the preference of other people. But
your choice is basically RNGesus or Bielsa grind.
Yeah,
that's it.
But my other only small gripe about the whole thing itself, and this is probably going to change way down the Relic quest line anyway, I kind of feel like, though, with 6+ months, that at least one of the things that we could have done could have been something new. I totally was bracing and was ready for the fact that we're going to get a lot of the old Relic things that were done before Rehash. I was completely ready for that. I thought there might have just been like a new twist here or there. That's just only me.
I don't know, man. First stage Relic, when you've got this much back content to work with, no, I did not expect even one new fight to be associated with it. I think we even asked that in one of the last episodes. With 3.15, are we going to get a new fight either with Saint Endelum Scholasticate or with the the Anima grind. And no, I don't think I ever expected that at any point. Just because we didn't get that many of them in the last Relic grind, and I think the purpose of it from a development standpoint is to redirect your player base back to content that is being underutilized. So anyway, thanks for the call. We really appreciate it. We've got to move on and talk about some emails here.
One last thing, talking about the virtues of RNG based grinding.
Yeah,
someone was mentioning the idea that I think got talked about a lot in the 11 days was a measured RNG, where like every time you complete it, your drop rate goes up by like 1%, maybe to a cap of 33% or something like that. I don't have a problem with that. If you want to start at like a 5% drop rate, and then every time you do it, it goes up a little bit, and then it caps out somewhere.
So much work to like program and shit.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Is that just takes that takes so many more steps system side. That doesn't make sense.
Just eat your random number Oreos and be done with it.
Or make the item you need out of coming out of the loot pool and increase competition that way. At first, I actually thought that's what the Alexander component was, because when you see the items, they look very close to the items that you turn in for the gear anyway, and I thought that you would have to compete with the other people at the end of the thing, but no, it's just a token that you get for completing it, which is like, when you consider what it could have been, if you consider that like if they had asked for those pieces instead of just building a new token that automatically drops out of it, that would have been way more ridiculous. I mean, I think people would have been way more justifiably angry about something like that.
I like chat responds, like 10 lines of code for that. It's not like, speaking from a coding background, there's not a ton of coding into that. Anyway, on to emails. First email comes to us from Shady Grove of Mateus. Says, hi gang, so Square Enix gave us what we wanted, more content. Good job. What do they get in response? Just look at the official forums. I hang my head in shame for being part of this community. Final Fantasy XIV gives everything one could want in an MMO. Beautiful graphics, outstanding storyline, high-level raids, best-looking character models in any MMO, well-thought-out classes and combat, and the list goes on. Developer support is the highest of any game on the market. They actually listen and implement. Instead of congratulating and cheering on the team at SE, we bitch. Happy holidays, everyone. I hope that new flat-screen TV you get as a gift is the right color you wanted, so you don't have to bitch about it. Fucking we wants.
Thanks, Shady Grove. Appreciate the email. I don't disagree necessarily with the sentiment, but we do bitch. I mean, that's like, first of all, like, I think people get on us for complaining so often on the show, and it's not. I don't think that we don't complain without reason. Like, I think we give our reasons, and most people who complain are also giving reasons and feedback and criticism, and that's all important. I don't want to discourage anyone from giving feedback. I just I personally
make it well thought out.
Well, when you hold your breath and turn blue like a toddler, it doesn't translate very well. And if it doesn't translate very well to me reading it, imagine how it translates to the devs, okay? Because you look like an asshole. You do. A lot of times when I say stuff on the show, I look like an asshole as well. I'm willing to embrace that. I'm also willing to embrace being wrong, being mistaken sometimes. And again, we do the show. We do the show each and every single week. I don't think that these people post each week with their updates on their opinions. So no, they just do a one-off angry email about how everyone should unsubscribe to this video game and send Square Enix a message. And that's a perfect thing to be putting out there around the holidays. Good job, guys.
Yep. We got from an anonymous emailer.
Yeah.
Howdy, hosts. I've been watching your stream on the odd occasion, but mostly catch up on the VODs on your YouTube channel, and I've been loving every episode. Whereas I'm always playing them in the background whilst I'm relaxing on FF14, or even now I'm listening to last week's episode whilst I type this letter to you. # Team Aniero.
Thank you very much.
As of the last week, the Anima Weapons dropped. Now, the overall feedback for the Anima has been mixed, some positive and some negative, which is understandable. I want to talk about my opinion. Whilst most will disagree, it's what I come to think of it. Now, before I go off and rant a little bit, let's just describe as a whole the experience for the Relic Quest as a whole in a not TLDR format. Note, I do not mention skipping. This is from a new player who never bothered building a Zeta due to being lazy. Okay. Part 1.
Well, then you're lazy.
Yeah. Go do fates in the new Heaven's Ward areas to collect 3 crystals in each of a total for 18. Part 2, he basically just sums up what you have to do for all of them right there. The rant. Now, here's where I start to rant a little, so please bear with me. Starting off with part 1, the fate system was done nicely. Felt a mix of a grind, but also some people had luck getting all 3 required crystals in one area within 3 fates, which is a good thing, while some other users never got a single drop within 2 hours. Now, RNG in this game sucks a lot of dick, but not as bad as some people who experienced the Atmas in the previous Relic quest, spending over 5 hours just for one pre-nerf. And I've heard worse stories than that. The system was fair, and even though I didn't mention it, players can skip with turning in their Zeta weapon, which is a bonus. Part 2. Now that you have a shitty esoteric-looking weapon, time to go do some old and new dungeons. Yay, what I've always wanted to do. Fucking do, but wait, what the hell is he saying here?
I don't know, this is really well written.
Yeah. Make sure you haven't fucking forgotten about your new shitty weapon, otherwise you won't be fucking credited, as I had someone forget about it until he was halfway through the dungeon we were doing. And we're all going to look at Juxta.
Juxta.
What? No, I forgot the very end. Thank you very much.
Nice
fucking dumbass. That was from him.
Way to go.
In all seriousness, though, it's not that bad. I mean, the pre-Heavens War dungeons can be unsynced, making the progress quicker, and when you get to the Heavens War dungeon, just stroll through them like normal. Part 3, the grind. Now that that's all over and done with, here comes the real fucking dumb shit, where they must have all been high as a motherfucking cloud, smoking the dankest shit, where they thought it was a good fucking idea, where we should do over not 20, not 80, not 200, but fucking over 600 Alexander normal runs, which is the quickest method. Take that in for a second. This is the most fucked up shit they've done by far, just to collect the items alone. Here's a tally which lists the multiple methods of collecting them.
Don't read that.
I'm not
Don't bother. We went through that.
Stop reading that. Stop reading it.
How fucking dumb can they be? And can I also add the I-200 weapon you get from completing the Part 2 Relic quest is just a reskinned shitty esoteric weapon with now an added effect? Wow, Square. Sure, just casually reuse textures and weapons over and over again, showing us that you're becoming more and more fucking lazy by the patch. Before you fucking know it, Alex Savage is just standing in a fucking corner and wait for the boss to die with little or no fucking effort.
Oh, so you mean like primal,
So it's like,
the primal fights
or
that we did for lights.
I love the new glow, though. It's so cool.
Oh, yeah, I like the new glow. It's pretty neat.
It's spaghetti.
Wow, great fucking ideas that are only pushing the player base further and further away from the game. I think this guy equates using the word fuck with salt.
I know, right?
You get that feeling?
Yeah.
How I would have liked, and many other people on my server that I've personally gone out of my way and asked, is rather than the countlessly grindy sessions of Alex, Hunt's treasure maps, or Beast Tribe quests, the overall consensus aims towards something like this. Either lower the amount of something to something reasonable and add one or more of the following just so that they can make it a grind session, but nothing so fucking tedious as the current method they added. And all the shit we talked about before.
Look, again, I'm gonna say this one more time, okay? If you don't want to do 800 fucking Alex runs, go do something else for a few tokens. That takes 10 runs per token out of how many Alex runs you have to do to get to the fucking end. Relax. It's not that bad. If you take 10 runs out at a time, that's actually a pretty significant time sink that you're taking out each token you don't get out of Alex drops. Fucking relax.
Grab half your tokens from other methods.
Yeah.
You've cut half
you
your
get
Alexander
law by doing Alex. So there will give you a couple by itself.
Exactly.
Do your roulettes every day. You'll get poetics. You'll get a couple there. Like, it's really not as bad as people think.
The law is actually kind of a little bit weird because you don't get, like, law output is only in 2.0 areas, right? Like, what outputs law in these?
Oh yeah, law.
Yeah, but they come pretty fast in the
mostly from hunts.
In roulettes.
Well, they do shit them out though. That's the thing, is that they through the roulettes you get like 300 at a time or something. Like you get tons of
each
them.
boss drops law, right?
That's true too.
Yeah. Now, rather than me talking shit and wasting your time, I want to hear your opinions about this convoluted shit stain of a fucking patch, and I hope you all take care and enjoy the grinding session. Your best and give your best regards.
Person. Are we sure
they're going by HM, so thank you, HM.
Yes.
Are we sure this isn't from Reddit?
Collective.
Just collective Reddit.
I'm pretty sure this sounds like a Reddit post.
This is the Reddit hive mind given birth in real life. It's just out there and emailing us now.
Yeah. Well, I think there's another person who really expected us to be leading the parade of salt on this one.
I think so. But look, I just, it's not that fucking bad.
No, it's really not.
It's really not. There's a bunch of different ways to go through. If 800 is too high of a number, go do some other shit.
I'm looking forward to not being done after a week.
And from what people have said, I think they said that like just spamming the fuck out of what is that awful Fractal might be actually faster than some of the A rooms. Like
is that right?
A2 and A3 maybe.
Really? Because of the tome output.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
All right. Well, we got a caller on the line.
Alrighty.
Zero Ash Sanzari from Midgard Sorma.
Welcome to the show.
Hey to the LBR crew. It's nice to talk to you guys finally.
Thank you for giving us a call here on Limit Break Radio.
Well, I've got two pieces of information to bring up. One,
all right.
People should have done their Zetas when they had the chance to skip that awful RNG phase.
Yep.
And secondly, an FC mate stealing one of my ores from a map.
Ooh.
How'd they steal an ore? How'd they steal?
How'd that happen?
The
Does it go
ores,
into the treasure?
seeds and whatnot, those that will drop on maps, are a lot item.
Oh!
Oh no!
Oh, that's awesome! I need to do maps.
Holy shit! I had no
Yeah.
idea. I thought that was
didn't
just
know that.
it like landed in your inventory like all the other stuff.
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah, let's just say the least the salt was running a little strong when that happened.
I like that. I like that.
How did you buy your map or did you find it?
I bought it. I don't have gatherers up high enough.
How much did you pay for it?
60K at the time, but the prices have gone up to now 70K, and I see them climbing higher because
Oh,
no
they
one's
are-
going to be selling maps.
Once people
Yep.
realize it too.
Yep.
How many maps have you done?
I've done. That was my only map at that time.
Oh, and it
So it
drops.
drops instant drop, and I'm just like, oh, this is.
It drops first time. Oh my god! What a kick in the balls.
Juxta, what's that like?
Yeah.
Like, I was legitimately upset, but I'm like, it's an FC mate. You can't get really mad at FC mates. I've ran content with this person.
Oh yeah.
Fuck that.
Fuck that. Yes, you can.
Plus, now I get to be like, now you got to do your relic since you stole it from me. I don't have Zeta, so they had to go into the.
No,
I mean, did he ninja steal it on purpose or was it an accident?
It was an accident, but you know what? They got to do relic now.
No, it sounds to me like he needs to buy you maps until you get one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how about 4 maps?
I don't think it's 4 maps. I think the rate is probably going to be like the Thavarian Silk.
Ew.
Yeah, and you know
That's
that drops
pretty low.
commonly now.
I feel like from what I've read online, it's about probably between like 5 and 10% per map is what I've guessed.
You think?
Which is the same thing as the Atma grind back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds right. Dude, that sucks to get your ore ninja'd. That ugh.
You know what? I would have had 17 items. I'm sitting on 16 items right now. I'm not too worried. And truthfully, if I don't have to go into Alex 1 and 3, I'd be happy.
That's some good progress. What have you been doing for most of those?
What I've been doing mostly is I've been going back and doing a lot of the old leveling stuff, like the level 50 dungeons. Hey, look, there's 120 level 50 dungeon, 120 laws right there.
Yep.
100 poetics, and the best part, I ran with a company mate last night. We got a new person. Oh wait, there's an extra 80 law in there.
This is
Yeah,
why
if you want to grind your jobs 50 to 60 right now, here's the
Totally.
time to do it.
This is why I have been saying since 3.0, stop poop socking stuff. Stop being in such a hurry to max out all your jobs for the next patch. Stop being in such a hurry to get through all the stuff that's there and then sit around in Idleshire not knowing what to do and complaining that there's nothing to do. It's not that helpful. If you actually take your time and enjoy it, you'll have content that actually this redirects players to content that is underutilized, myself included. I've got jobs between 50 and 60 to level. I've got all of these Beastmen Tribe quests that I haven't invested at all in. You know, I think that this is good for a player like me who logs on, does their roulette, does maybe a leveling roulette and maybe a diadem and then fucks off. You know what I mean? I'm not somebody who spends all of my time exclusively playing this game. So I think that it's actually really beneficial for someone who has more my play style. But I understand that there are players out there who really do want to poop sock. They want to have world first. That's fine if you do, but you lose a little bit of your right to complain. when you do that.
A little bit, and I see that. Now, on the topic of the 50 level, if you are a level 50, you only get the poetic one. You do not get the law bonus. You have to be a level 60 to get the law bonus from it.
Oh, that's a kick in the dick.
It is. Yeah,
Well, but
But
while you're leveling, you get 100 extra poetics for leveling. Oh no, I have to level and I'm getting a bonus. There might be a new person. There's an extra 80. And you know what? You're going to get thrown into one of the 3 end of the dungeons, which is probably going to be, like AK hard or Wanderer Palace hard or the Keeper of the Lake. Not really that difficult to deal with.
Right. Yeah. Good point. It's definitely a good point.
And like, what a good way to break up your leveling too. Like leveling can get monotonous. Okay, every so often, go spend all your poetics and get that shit taken care of.
Absolutely.
Oh no, I have to spend my poetics. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go not do these single turns of Alexander. Oh god, not that.
Yeah.
How nice to be able to spend your poetics on something. I'm tired of just seeing it at cap.
Exactly. It's nice that they gave us this option. I mean, if it was just 800 Alex runs exclusively and that was the only thing that you could do, I think that people would be complaining with good reason. But the fact that there's a variant of things to do really just kind of it takes a lot of the argument out of your sales.
Well, yeah, I mean,
think about
even the 8. Sorry.
No, like what if okay, we can spend law and poetics. What if you could only buy them with ESOs? Would that not be the worst?
That would be terrible.
Still 600.
Oh.
Still 600.
Oh god. Yeah.
Good luck finishing it in 2 years. Congratulations, Final Fantasy XI. You have came back to us.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thanks for the call. We really appreciate it. You got any shout-outs you want to share?
Yes, this is the Floor Lord from the Nomad Moogles, also part of the Welfare Alliance. It was awesome, and thank you, LBR.
Thank you so much for giving us a call, and thank you very much. If you want to call Limit Break Radio, we're going to take a couple more callers before we wrap it up here. The Skype account, Limit Break Radio, or 810-515-8715 to get that done. All right, Nika, I know that your voice is a little bit shot today, and our emails tend to get a little bit long. This one is a little salty.
It's extremely salty.
So, but I think based on its length, I want to ask you to read it. So,
Sure.
don't beat your voice box up too much, but go ahead and read this next email for us.
Okay, yeah, I don't even think they signed it. All right.
Oh, they signed it. Oh, they absolutely signed it. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. To all those who hate casuals, first of all, stay the hell away from Lords of Vermilion. We casuals don't take kindly to all you hardcore douche nuggets stinking the place up like the $50 whores you all are. If I catch one of you, I will rip out your heart, smother it with sriracha, and eat it with a side of kimchi. Then after it's properly digested, I will shit it out and piss on it with urine that is 90% concentrated Monster Energy drink and 10% pickle juice.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Jesus.
Secondly, clean the salt out from your vaginas.
Neckbeard here.
Casual players are not ruining the game. Hell, we are the ones that keep our sub when all you whiny hardcore content vultures cry about the patches and demand everyone unsub to prove to SE some bullshit point. Shave your fucking neckbeards, grab a straw, and suck it the fuck up. Respectfully signed, the filthy fucking casual. P.S. I've never actually played Lords of Vermilion. PSS, hi Nika. PSSS, the rest of you can go fap yourselves to catgirl porn.
Thanks for the email, filthy fucking casual. Okay.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
Hello, kiddies.
The imagery in that was awesome.
There is a bit of a debate going back and forth. Is it the casual players? Is it the hardcore players that seem to be fucking this game up for the rest of us? And I think that it's just two sides of two sides of the same coin, and they both suck.
And that coin is $50.
Yeah,
apparently.
Yeah,
because we're whores.
So let's take this next email. Ascalia, why don't you?
Sure.
Yeah.
Hello, Limit Break Radio. Thank you for your program every Sunday. My husband and I do our best to plan our Sunday to catch your show live, and we love playing FF14 while you stream throughout the week. Thursday's stream of Callow and Juxta was especially entertaining with Santa's asshole.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I love FF14, but I feel like I love them way more than they love me. Maybe it's time to break up. Things just aren't as exciting as they used to be. There is no one else, no other game I would rather play. My account runs out in June, and by then, I may already be gone. I consider myself the player they want to keep, as I've gone to Final Fantasy FanFest. I have told all my friends how amazing this game is. Use the recruit a friend feature in streaming this game live. I did everything 2.0 to 3.0 offered and enjoyed every minute of it. There are several solutions for FF14 to win back my heart, and to start is to listen to the community. I created a post on the forums of what they can do to improve the game with links of solutions other community members have made. I've also said they need to listen to you, Limit Break Radio, because 90% of the time you are spot on with the feels about this game and have no reason to hold back.
That's what I like to hear.
I promise you they will not listen to us, though.
No,
Thank you again for what you contribute to the community. My husband and I are thrilled we can support you by making a small donation each month. With great respect, Teddy Ursa, Keeper of Knowledge from Behemoth Server.
Thank you so much, Teddy.
Thank you.
That was a lovely email.
That's a very kind email. We really appreciate the support. We appreciate you spreading the word of Limit Break Radio and plugging us. Any plugs always help.
Yes.
So thank you very much for that.
Okay. Anything else on that email?
No. Do we have someone on the line?
We sure do.
Speaking of nothing else,
we have someone who is wonderful. We have Taser Smurf on the line.
Hey, Taser, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Well, thank you for giving us a call here on Limit Break Radio. What would you like to talk about this afternoon?
Well, first, I would like to say happy birthday, Aniero.
Thank you.
First caller to do so.
That is right. Yep. None of our other callers seem to remember that it's my birthday.
That's what we like, Taser.
Yeah. Thank you, Taser.
And then I kind of want to talk about the latest dev blog. Because at the end, Kamate hints that he wants to plan for a big event.
Oh.
But we have to wait until the live letter.
Yeah, we do have the live letter on the 23rd. There has been some speculation. I think I said last episode that the community sentiment is such that, man, we could really use a live event. We could really use a fan fest.
Maybe a live action Fate in Tokyo?
Or that. Not that.
Oh.
Not that.
Something we could attend would be great.
So you're thinking that they're already in the planning stages for the next fan fest? Is that what you think that they're implying there?
Yeah, I mean, what else would it be besides one of those fake things?
They definitely did hint at that during that anniversary event with the hidden room.
Yeah, they did say that they wanted...
Yeah, okay, I just found what she's talking about. It says, all this talk about events is really making me want to plan and hold some kind of big event, ... I guess the live letter from the producer will have to do for now, winky face.
Dude, like you say, if there's ever been a time where we need an announcement like this, it is right now.
Absolutely.
Something to get some excitement generated. Because no one's going to hear FanFest event and have a bad thing to say about that.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, everyone, I mean, that's one thing that gets all of us super hyped. No one is going to poo-poo that.
Yeah. One of the unfortunate truths is negativity breeds negativity a lot of the time.
That is true.
So you need to put in an infusion of positivity in some way if you want to get people kind of out of that funk.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They could announce that they're having a fan fest that's just going to rehash all the old content. They have to fight Odin again.
It's the exact same fan fest.
It's the exact same fan fest.
You can only buy tickets if you went last time. And
oh gosh.
They would do something like that one. They just wheel out the exact same banners and everything. They're still shitty from last year. They got dust on them. They're just knocking the dust off.
Look at us. We're even trying to make a FanFest announcement crappy.
I know. Taser Smurf, do you think that sentiment would change among the community if they did announce a FanFest? Do you think that would be what they need to invigorate the community again?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it just feels so like there's no life. I mean, people on the forums are like, my server's dead. And I'm like, but that's Goblin. And I'm pretty sure Carletta hasn't said anything about Goblin being dead.
That is something that you've been hearing a lot, is that server populations have been down, party finders have been down, duties are harder to match. I mean, it does seem like overall populations are depressed.
Party finders of people actually doing stuff have been dead.
True. Taser Smurf, I hope you're right. I sincerely hope you're right. I hope that when we tune in for the live letter that there will be a big announcement like that. I remain skeptical. If there is, I'll be hyped for it, and I'll turn up, I will turn up all of the hype engines to full thrust, okay? But I don't think that they're going to yet. I just don't think that we're there yet. I mean, I think
that's next year.
I think you're right. I think that we've got a little bit more time to go before they could announce something like that in terms of timing and allowing us to plan. I don't know. I
don't think so.
I'd love to be wrong.
It'll be like the same. I mean, when did they announce the last FanFest time-wise?
That's a great question. I don't know.
I feel like it was very early in the year because I remember thinking tickets go on sale in the summer when I'm going to be in California. Let me make sure that I can buy them. And then the tickets went on sale in like June or July for October. So I feel like there was a big chunk of time between where I remember thinking I have to remember to like write this on my calendar so I don't forget because it was a long.
It does feel like it was almost 9 months or something like that. So this would be about the right timing.
Yeah. I don't know. It's it could go either way. But thank you very much for the call, Taser Smurf, and of course for the birthday wishes. All right, let's take a look at this next email here from Mitch Strife. It says, hey everyone, Mitch Strife from the Exodus server here. I'd like to lay down just a dusting of salt, if I may, about the new Anima Weapon Quest, or rather the commentary online about it. There seems to be an extreme amount of butthurt all over the place about this damn weapon and what it takes to get it. I hear people bitching and moaning, even unsubbing, because the requirements to get the weapon are quote-unquote too much, and that they will never be able to get them. Look, I am what I like to refer to as a hardcore casual. I love the Final Fantasy series, and I've played the shit out of them since Final Fantasy I. I'm even one of those guys that has beaten the original with a party of 4 white mages, and I don't mind the grind. That was all before I had a family and I had a whole ton of obligations stacked high on my plate. Such is life. I now log on and play when I can, just so that I can burn off some of the stress that comes with life. I appreciate it for what it is, a game that is meant for fun and a small escape from reality. I realize that I will never be able to log the kind of hours that it will take to get my animal weapon, and while it's still relevant content, and I'm okay with that. It's content that's not meant for me. I know that it's mind-blowing for some people to hear. Not every part of this game was designed for every person to do. That's part of the design of being a massively multiplayer game. Quit bitching about the fact that this weapon will take so much grinding to do. It's meant to reward those people who like to do that particular type of content. Get over it. On the flip side, there have been a lot of people responding with the whole you should have been there for weapons in 11. That was a real grind, and actually you had to work for it. Yes, I get it. You had to walk to school in the snow uphill both ways, and you're tired of these damn kids and their rock and roll music and their skateboarding on the sidewalk. Look, this isn't 11. This is a totally different game, and not all the content was designed for you either. Hardcore players, guess what? There are people out there that don't log on every day and grind out content. I know what you're thinking. Sinners! You're not real gamers? Well, you're wrong. The lack of time available does not equal lack of passion. I love gaming, but my family more. Not everyone has a family like I do, so they have more time to devote to their gaming. Great. Good for you. Your situation is different from me. I'm happy for you. However, just like all of the we wants, you need to shut the fuck up too. Everyone just needs to enjoy this game or move on to one that they do. This game is exactly what it is. Say what you want about content to give the devs some good feedback and move the fuck on. It's a game. Have fun or fuck off, whichever. It's your choice. Shout out to my FC Northern Sky on Exodus, a great bunch of people. And hi, Nika. Drops the mic. Mitch Strife from the Exodus server. Thank you very much for that email. And yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of that stuff in there. Personal play times. If this is something that you can do, you're going to do it. If it's too much of a time sink for you to be able to do, I honestly don't think it is. Even somebody playing this game fairly casually can grind out most of this content within the time between now and 3.2. Yeah,
right. I do think they hit the nail on the head though with the one thing that this community doesn't understand is that you don't have to do every piece of content in this game. Like we always say, back in 11, people knew that that certain bosses weren't for them and they didn't care. But in this game, it's like if I can't do every piece of content, the devs are horrible.
That's true.
I mean, they just do the content you like. Don't do the content you don't like. I don't see what the big deal is.
But that's and to me, I feel like that's an extension of that whole we want mentality. Like you can't keep us out of that content. Like, you know what I mean? And to me, that comes off as entitled. And that's I have a problem with entitlement. And just saying I deserve it because I pay the money. No, you don't. You don't. If there are some rewards that are meant to be locked behind skill. There are some rewards that are meant to be locked behind an incredible time sink. It's just the rewards are there in certain instances. I know that we criticize this game for not incentivizing content properly, and in a lot of instances it doesn't. But this is not one of them. This Relic Quest is not one of them. The incentive actually is proper.
Right. Well, that was a really strong email, and to take it from both stances. The people who complain that not everything is for them does go both ways. There are people who are the hardcore endgame players who think that everything should be for them, but maybe not for casuals.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to have parts of the game they don't like, and everyone's going to have parts of the game they do like. If you can't deal with that, I don't know if you like MMOs.
Well, I mean, I do think that there's a difference between old. There's like pre-WoW and post-WoW MMOs. Like there does seem to be a huge division between the two.
Yes. Well, WoW was revolutionary. We won't deny that. But I think if you're trying to hold FF14 to the standard of what a game was like before World of Warcraft,
I think that's kind of unfair. But I think, and a lot of people will go, oh, but Aniero, you constantly come in and tell them how to be more like 11. And what I don't think I'm saying that. And I'm sure that there are some people who would say that I am, but I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that there were a lot of good development practices that happened under 11, and it is a bit surprising to me that they haven't incorporated many of those successes that they had in 11's content into 14, because there's some structure about 11 that could still work that is not done very often in other MMOs and hasn't been done very often since 11. So I mean, that I think that is that's a big part of my criticism, that they could incorporate more elements from older MMOs into FF14 and still find a way for it to work.
There has always been kind of a sense of SE wanting to cut off their nose to spite their face with it. We are not going to take things that we know work. We're going to make our own original things, even if that means foregoing things we know are effective.
Yeah, I'm just not sure. In the end, I'm not sure that it's the best thing in the world.
Oh, no, I don't think it is at all. And we've talked about that now for 42 episodes, right?
Yeah. Well,
43 episodes.
And the thing is that, they could so easily introduce some of these concepts in small ways to test the waters to see if they work over here. And I think that they could easily do that, but they choose not to. So
a long super relic grind, I guess that's kind of a small version of it. No,
not even.
To try to compare them is still silly.
Yeah. Do we have somebody else on the phone line
we
here?
Sure do.
All right.
We have our good friend Malkyria, the very talented singer Malkyria, on the line.
Hi, Malkyria. How you doing?
Hi, guys.
Thanks for giving us a call here on Limit Break Radio.
It's always a pleasure.
So, how do you feel about the anime weapons?
At first I was kind of salty about it, mainly because
what were you salty about at first?
At first I was salty about the fact that I was under the impression that we were going to be able to keep the Zeta, but then I found out that it actually destroys it, and I'm sitting here like, no, I love my Lilith Rod. Don't make me do this.
But if you can get it as a glamour item, what's the point? Like, there's the only reason to keep that thing around. The stats were useless as of a level 54 weapon in Heavensward. There was no reason to keep that weapon around. It was not valid.
But I don't know if the replicated version goes up to the Zeta. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't checked it. But if it does, then yeah, I totally.
It does. Yeah, you have to.
It does as long as you finish that final cut.
Yeah, you have to go. You have to go talk to Gel's run first.
Even after you get the Zeta, there's one cutscene after that a lot of people apparently didn't.
And you've got to be equipped with the Zeta to be able to unlock it. It comes up as a red exclamation point unless you're equipped with the Zeta. So yeah, you need highly recommended that you finish that quest line and then turn in the Zeta.
Yeah, and even before this, I was that crazy person who said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get all of the Zetas for all of the jobs.
Oh my God.
And that was the exact same reaction I got from a lot of people, because they look at me and like, what the fuck are you smoking? Can I have some?
Well, yeah.
And how far did you get?
Well, I only have one, but I'm working on But I'm working on I have like 3 Animas now.
Okay. You're gonna work on 3 Animas?
Jeez, yeah. All right, so
Kira, let me ask something. Are you wearing a headset right now?
Yes, I am.
Did you check it?
Why?
There might be a spider in it.
Yeah, it might be a spider.
Oh yeah. Oh no, don't worry about it. I absolutely check that out like once a month, and holy shit. Whoops, my bad. But what I was going to.
What's
talk
that
about
noise?
That's what I actually hear most of the time.
What I was going to.
Is that what you were hearing the night that you got the?
I didn't hear anything. I just suddenly felt a big pain.
That is the worst sound ever.
That is
a pretty horrible sound.
That really is the worst noise
sounds like
that has ever come out of your mouth, and we've listened to 43 episodes of you.
No,
42.
My
you were absent for
enough.
one.
Sorry. But what I was going to talk about was you guys talked about the male and female voice that in the further along the the 2.0 relic.
Right.
That actually reminded me of something from another MMO that I used to frequent, Mabinogi.
That is not one that I'm familiar with.
What it was, there was a thing in there, an item called a spirit weapon, and what it was basically the relic equivalent to Final Fantasy. Now, the way you could obtain this is you basically put in a soul. Into a spirit, into a weapon of your own choosing, and this spirit weapon would actually have like its own personality. So like depending on what weapon you chose, say you had a sword, an axe, a bow, a wand, or a cylinder, you had a different kind of a spirit. Now when I played this game, I had the male sword spirit. And you could name him, and what you basically did was you fed him stuff. You fed him weapons. You fed him other things. The way you could repair him was you had to get a certain item, but depending on that, his stats would actually grow. And that to me, like that kind of like when you said a male and a female voice, that actually brought me back to those days, because you could actually talk to these weapons. And there was a one point, if you could actually develop with your spirit weapon, whatever it was, it would get power. It would get power to be able to manifest itself and kind of like help you out.
Okay.
So like depending on on what weapon it was, you'd have basically what is the if I don't know if anyone's equivalent to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but it was equivalent to a stand in a way.
We talked last episode about how in 1.0 you got to
I don't understand weeaboo references. So sorry.
We talked last episode about how you effectively got to create a adventuring fellow in 1.0. What if this is the start to doing something like that? What if we're gonna like get to make a like personality for our weapon and talk to it? It's gonna be like our Midgard Stormer for this run.
See, I would not mind that because I wasn't really into the anime grind until I heard about the voice, and that kind of like piqued my interest because I thought back to my days in Mabinogi and thought, yo, what if we could do that in 14? That'd be super fucking awesome.
It'd be a cool concept if we got to develop a personality for our weapon and have it be kind of an actual character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and like something similar to like the unique skill pertaining to that relic, something like that.
I mean, it would be cool if, depending on the weapon, you have the soul and the character and personality would be different. Because that would actually create some uniqueness between each weapon rather than, each weapon having the same person. Just depends on...
Everyone has the flirty
everyone
personality.
Has the same. Everyone is the chosen one. Everyone has the same weapon. If they actually did make it different for each different type of weapon...
Like the Dark Knight weapon is super bloodthirsty.
You know what? But the thing is I have never been into the idea of weapons that talk. I mean, that's a pretty common thing that happens in fantasy worlds, and every time it happens, I just end up rolling my eyes and going, ugh. I've never thought of that. I don't know. I guess there are people who like to talk to weapons. I mean, there are crazy people who polish their guns and talk to them. Yes, sweetness, yes.
Dude, it's like when you go to bed at night and like stroke that microphone, put it right up next to your mouth. It's the same idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just like that.
I kind of get that.
Like I kind of like the idea that over time we not only get like attached to the weapons, but like we make the weapons as how we would what do you call it, as something unique to us.
It would give a good lore impetus for us to continue working and developing our weapons over time. I feel like it'd be one of those things where when we hit 4.0, they'd have to really kind of sell it on why we're going to continue on with it, but I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. I just I think that in order for it to have that narrative impact, if they tied it specifically to either Ysayle or Hearts and Farts, that's the way to get it done.
Oh my god, don't do that to me. I love them both.
Okay, that's
you get one, and the other is dead forever, and you have to choose.
Yeah.
And the one you
Which
choose
one are you killing off?
Oh my god, no, don't do that.
Now, Kyria, which one are you going to kill? You get to save one of them. Who's it going to be?
Stop torturing her. Damn it.
I can't. You can't. Oh my god, you have no idea how upset I was during the vault scene. I legit started crying after.
I did too. I was on stream. I remember it very vividly.
I'm sitting here like, oh my god, no, this is not happening. I went through the fucking 5 stages of grief.
Yeah.
For fucking Hearts and Farts.
Try not to think of it as who gets to live and who gets to die. Think of it as who gets to move on and who gets locked into your weapon for all of eternity.
Oh, great. A guilt trip instead of grief. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, exactly. I like that idea. I hope that's the way that we end up going.
If the weapon could talk to you, I want to not want to fight and want to move on, and you just don't let it because you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the that was actually one of the personalities that you could give your weapon.
Straight up Lord of the Rings with your ghosts that you don't let die, so they fight a battle for you.
That's too funny. Melkyria, thank you so much for the call. We've got a couple other people in line here that we got to move on to.
She wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, okay.
And I was going to sing a little song for you, but
sing it.
Okay, sing it.
Go on.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Aniero. Happy birthday to you. Okay, I'm done.
Hey.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melkyria. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. Thank you all who have called in today. It's been very nice of you. So let's get a couple more of these callers here out of the way.
2 more or so?
Yeah, let's do 2 more, and while you're getting the next person in here, why don't we read this next email from Torquil Rather Dashing? And how about Nika? How about we have you read that one? Can your voice handle it?
Probably. I'm making sure I'm looking at the right one from Torco.
Yes, Torco.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I can do this one.
Okay.
All right. It says there are 2 components to success in an encounter: gear and skill. We have the eye level for gear. I would love to see a kind of quote-unquote adventuring license system to prove your skill in the same way. In my fully realized system, you would have ranked licenses for every X or harder encounter for every role. Per job would be cool too, but I think per role probably suffices.
Interesting idea. I like that.
Much of the crew expresses concern that this would leave the more casual people out. I say, if properly balanced, a huge and challenging caveat I'll grant you, then you'd lack the skill to earn the license, then you were objectively going to cause your party to lose the encounter anyway.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I think it could actually make it easier to get clears. I'm one of those players who find it easy to learn the encounter. It's finding a decent clear party or getting a farm group to let me in that's the real challenge.
Yeah.
If I can throw a license at a farm party to prove, hey, look, I do know this encounter, then they may be more willing to let me have a shot. P.S. Can we have a radio melodrama based on Nika's experience in FF11? Based on her rant, it sounds torrid and fascinating. From Torquil, rather dashing from Valmung. P.P.S. Hi, Nika.
I love the idea of the license system. It's the next step from what we were talking about last week with having basically an achievement you could link.
Yes.
If they, for every major fight that came out, had a license, you had to earn, maybe even if it's like a miniaturized version of the mechanic that you have to face in the fight or something like that, to give you an idea of what to expect, a license you have to earn before you can do it that says, I can handle this fight. I love that idea.
But
and if you can't earn that license, then you're going to be a hindrance.
Like, seeing the next phase will give you another license that says, I've been past Meteors. I've been past first Knights of the Round. I've been past the second Knights of the Round. Like, what license? Like, I just feel like that would be way too much development time they could be spending in other areas.
It does go kind of along with our discussion last week that there needs to be some kind of objective measurement of a player's context, and not just because all too often people lie, or not that they lie or that they seek to deceive, but that out of either ignorance or fear they end up misrepresenting their skills. Or
but the thing is, I don't even think that that's the problem. Like, it sounds good in theory, but I've done like X Primal parties where it's been proven that literally every single person has multiple hive weapons for Ravana, and we still wipe just because we're not used to each other's strategies. Like, having the license and proving you can clear the content is not what's going to clear the content. I think that's not the problem.
That's true. But I think that it would decrease the amount of people who get frustrated after 2 wipes and then just go, oh, fuck this, and bail. Like if they're like, look, everyone has the ability to be able to get through this if I have the patience. I think that all around it would create a much more conducive environment for player for player teamwork, because that the people that you're working with are at some...
the person's not just brain dead sitting there.
Exactly.
Okay, they were able to clear the license objective. They have what it takes to do this.
It's like that black mage that you keep bringing up, Nika, that would, despite all of your best efforts, would not listen to your criticisms about their rotation. They would say either yeah, and then they wouldn't do it, or they flat out ignore you. Now, if you're going through a Party Finder, okay, and you're trying to do raid content through Party Finder, and you encountered that exact same personality type, that is devastating, not just to your party and not just to progression for that night, but to overall enthusiasm and wanting to clear the content overall, okay? Clearly, not everyone's playtime is structured so that they can form a static. And there are some people who would much rather try to do pickup groups for this kind of stuff. And that, I think, is totally valid. Why not give them the tools to be able to organize tighter groups in the moment? I think that's what you get. It doesn't at all affect the statics, because statics work together on a different level, right? This is a way for matchmaking to work a little bit better.
Maybe, but I feel like what determines like when and where you get those licenses? I just feel like, do they have like checkpoint? Like, they're gonna have to, every time they release a new raid, every time they release a new raid, they're gonna have to determine like where in the raid is a checkpoint, which means like I've made it to this checkpoint, I get a license. I feel like that's way too much depth.
If they want to do that, if they wanted to go to those lengths, I don't know that you have to. I don't know that that's necessary.
But I mean, they said throwing a license to show that I've learned these mechanics, I just may not have cleared yet. But I mean, what? So that means
Well, I think
once you
I
get to
said
1%
that,
and wipe. No, that's what the person said in the email.
Did he?
That they're easy. They're good at learning mechanics, but it's hard to get a party in the first place. So they want something to prove to that party that they can do it. So I feel like what you wipe at 1% and you get a license that says I've been to 1%.
But no. It's not just that. It's as much for the people who are trying to organize those parties as it is for the individual. Okay, like I think that when you're organizing a party, you have some discretion. But if you have no way of knowing within 5-10 minutes of talking to one person whether or not they're going to be a donkey. And one donkey can kill the entire run. And if the guy who's putting the thing together loses the momentum, then those 7 other people are going to go as well. It seems like this could be a tool to help people who want to ensure that their participants in a pickup group are up to par, and I think that that's fair. I think giving a tool set to be able to measure something like that is appropriate.
In theory, that's fair, but I just feel like why would the devs take the time out to determine what gives a player a license and what doesn't? I just feel that's a waste of their time.
No, I don't know. I mean, the person,
no more so than Verminion.
Torquil.
Okay, that's fair.
Torquil had said that he had fleshed out that whole system. I can't speak to it. He didn't flesh it out in the email. But yeah, I mean, that's a valid concern. I do think that there needs to be a toolkit to allow players to measure each other's skill. And if they're not going to put in a DPS, like a parser, a raw parser, then an achievement system like that is just as good.
Yeah, I can't speak to what specifically it needs to be. I like the concept in theory.
Yeah, I agree.
We have one of our last callers on the line.
All
we
right.
have our famous Arthurs on the line.
Arthurs! How's it going, Arthurs?
Hey, sup? I lost my voice as well.
Hey, it's
okay.
I'm
Great.
feeling you.
All right, it was great to have you on the show, Arthur.
Hey, happy birthday, by the way, Aniero.
Thank you very much, Arthurs. I think that this just lends more credibility to the fact that Arthurs and Nika are just one person and they're doing voices between the two. I mean, it's weird. It's weird that Arthurs asks for Nika to come back to the show and suddenly she comes back. But we ask for I don't know how long. Nothing.
They're both sick at the same time.
Yeah, both sick at the same time.
How ironic.
Have any of us ever seen them in the same room?
We are the cool people. That's why we're sick at the same time.
We are, and Arthur's is better. I like Arthur's better than you.
I just think.
See, there you go. More credibility, like because Nika likes herself.
Exactly. Yeah. This is just the most impressive ventriloquism act ever. Arthur's, thanks for giving us a call today. We had put up the Arthur's signal earlier in the show, and we wanted to kind of gauge some reaction from the Japanese community. A lot of the North American community coming out and railing against the new Anima weapons. How do our brothers and sisters across the pond feel about this?
Well, so far, for the forums, for these, Twitters that I've seen, so far I haven't seen anyone that is like, all outraging, like, oh my God,
I want to move to Japan.
Wow.
No one's raging?
Yeah, like, why do we need 80 at 80? No, they didn't say that. All of them is like, oh my God, this means that we have to do like, 200 turn 2, because they already start to look further, like, if we were to spend on turn 2, we'd be spending 8 minutes a run, so turn 2 is not worth it. They already just jump into like saying, how should we tackle this? Like, people is saying, we will just do turn 1 and turn 4, and then we just buy the law items with turn 3. So they are actually discussing.
They're working together to find the best strategy rather than bitching.
Yeah.
And there's some people, in fact, I think yesterday, one of the Japanese that was posting his progression like on Twitter and on the forum, is like, he finished already yesterday. That's kind of sick, by the way. That's crazy.
That's
man.
crazy.
When you finish the 210.
Yeah.
So he shared the information how you get it. So we were saying like, they just do turn 1 and turn 4, and then you use all your laws to buy the turn 3 items, and then you use the poetics that you get from your daily, but mainly the 50-60 roulette and the main story roulette and the trial roulette. That's all you need to do every day. And then so I was like reading this, and then one day I was with some of my Japanese friends on Skype, and I was, these are the people that was like server second, server third, world fourth. So they are those that really go for everything. So I was curious because I was wondering, okay, I want to compare my progress with them because they are the one that's supposed to be pushing harder, right?
Sure.
So when I asked them, how is your progress? All of them they say, oh, we haven't started yet. We only like 2 items from the laws. We didn't even cap poetics. We didn't even cap all coming in. So I was like, okay, so why not we do some turn 1 to turn 4? One of the guy, they don't speak English, by the way.
Yeah.
But one of the guy actually tell me, Arthurs, you crazy. On stream, and when I was streaming, I had my Skype open to the viewers. So that guy literally called me crazy. I was like, what?
For deciding to do the weapon?
No, for deciding to include turn 2 into the rotation.
Oh.
I was like, okay, so how do you plan on tackling that if you don't feel like doing turn 2? Because end of the day, almost everybody will be stuck at turn 2 because it's really...
It takes a long time.
Consuming.
Yes, it is. Yep. Of all of those floors, it is the most time consuming.
Yeah, so his response to me that you only do turn 1, just like what I've read from Twitter and the forums. You just do turn 1, you just do turn 4, you buy the items with law. So turn 2, what about turn 2? They say, you don't do turn 2, you waste so much time. What you do is you use your poetics, you use your Sahajin quest, you use your Vanu quest. So I was like, wait a minute.
That makes sense. That does make sense.
Yeah, but if I were to do this route though, how long am I going to take? Are you guys looking at 2-3 days, 4-5 days? So they were like telling me, Arthurs, why the fuck are you rushing?
Yeah, I actually, you know what, Arthurs, I have to admit, I was watching your stream midweek. Well, I think I was eating a bowl of cereal, and you were breaking down exactly how long it would take to be able to get one of your weapons if you were doing the most efficient progress possible. And I kind of thought the same. I have to admit, I kind of thought the same thing. Why rush through it? I mean, we've got so much time between now and 3.2.
Exactly. And then that's what bring back. I'm not gonna go too much into the Reddit people, the official people, because I'm pretty surprised and disappointed at the same time because I was totally expecting that you guys will be on the train like, oh my god, fuck this rally quest, but instead you guys pretty much said everything. Most of us, the Twitch viewers, saw you grinding, saw me grinding, saw everyone grinding. Everyone had the same. It's saying the same thing. So I was like, okay, so
this gives me a reason to log in and stuff to do when I do. I am thankful for this quest. Yeah. I dig this quest.
Not to mention, this time we have so many, okay, if you didn't get a Zeta, okay, in the first place, why didn't you get a Zeta? But okay, never mind, you didn't get a Zeta, you have to grind it.
Fair question.
But a lot of people say the grind isn't that bad, right?
Yeah. No.
And then this time you actually also get to level jobs.
Yeah.
Crystal. You know that I hope that I don't have a Zeta right now because I don't mind go getting another job and get a crystals, to be honest. So, and then we have the next step, which is just, do the dungeons in sequence. For some reason, I do not know why, this part of the quest, Geralt is like saying, oh, I want you to bring this weapon back to the previous dungeon and relive the memory. I was like, you fucking crazy, Geralt? You fucking serious right now? We unsync, we face through it. Like, what is the point, man?
Yeah.
We will get to that someday, Then,
yeah.
The final step, all right? You just have to do, okay, one of the Twitch viewer, Adrius, he actually made a spreadsheet. I think he made it to the Reddit and the official forum as well. He actually made a spreadsheet that actually says that if you were to every day just do your 50, your 60 roulette, your trial roulette, your main story roulette, which is probably something that a lot of people has already been doing before 3.15. You just have to keep doing this, and then you just do 10 Alexander a day. According to the calculation, it will only take about 24 to 25 days to finish. That is not bad, right? Like you guys say,
that's not bad at all.
No.
Exactly. There's 2 more months, right? Most people will stop at 1, maybe 2 relics. So if
Yeah,
you're
you
talking
can.
about 5 days,
It's reasonable for a casual-ish player to get 2 relics in that time. Totally
and
reasonable.
you can even get 2, right? With 2 months, you can even go crazy, get 2, man, with that casual farming. So why is people getting so? You know what I think? I think people just thought that, you know what, when 3.15 hits, when we fly to the sky, we meet Gero and this, I'm not sure guy or girl NPC, and then they'll be like, you know what, we found a way to make an Anima weapon. Oh, just give me some time. You know, Gero will just tell you, you know, just go in front of the FC houses, just stay there. You know, 2 days later, we will send you the Anima weapon. Fucking happy, right?
Yeah,
Fuck
exactly.
You slipped me a 20 and
Christmas is not here yet, guys. Christmas is not here. Fucking dream on, man. Just get out. Rather than typing things on Reddit, rather than typing things on official forum, and rather than finding people who you think share the same opinion as you. By the way, those Reddit and the official forums people are minority, by the way, so don't pay so much attention to them.
They are a very vocal minority, and really all they're doing is just seeking out other people they want to form their own echo chamber. They just want people to agree with them and complain with them, and
so they get the feel goods.
Yeah, and that's
justified.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Not to mention
it does make for a fun podcast.
We are also looking at a lot more possibility, like you guys were saying, like Crystal Tower, and I totally forgot the Primal Weekly, by the way. You know, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, although we say that the 3.2 is coming in February, we believe in February, like 2-3 months. Let's not forget, like Square Enix might do the same thing.
They may push it back again.
Oh my God!
No,
okay,
I don't think
scale
they'll push
of
back
1 to 10. How much does this community explode if it gets pushed back?
Oh, I think if
3.2,
yeah, if they push back 3.2, I think then you'll see some really justifiable salt.
Yeah.
But I don't think they will delay it though. But what they will do is just like FFXIV release, you know, story mode is gonna come 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
The Tombstone is going to come 4 weeks together with Alexander Savage too. So we are looking at possibly 3 months. So you got more than enough time, and not to mention that in 3.2 hits, most probably the esoterics might be lifted, the cap might be lifted. You might be able to buy these items as well, the tokens. And not to mention the Savage pages, because Savage pages, Savage equipment, and esoteric is kind of tied together for the weekly lockout, right? So
right.
we are looking at maybe, you know, go to Duty Finder, do Savage, free farm the pages. These pages might also come into play getting the tokens. That's what I feel will very likely happen. So, you know, if you don't feel like doing till 3.2, maybe in 3.2 till Savage release, these 4 weeks, you know, where they did on FFXIV release, you might, with a high possibility that, you know, you can get esoterics, you can get your pages, and you can get even more chance to get a token. You might even finish it in like 2 weeks after that. They don't even need to nerf it, you know.
Yeah.
80 items with so much possibility right now, you know. It's not a big deal, guys. You know,
Absolutely.
People need to chill.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you. Thank you very much for the calls, Arthurs. We really appreciate it. We don't want to put too much of a stress on your voice. We know that your voice is totally shot.
Any last shout out.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll go ahead and let us know who you want to shout out.
Yeah, I mean, not just like everybody's, you know, this holiday is coming, and everyone of you is grinding relics, you know, keep it going, man. Take it slow. You want to do it fast, you do it fast.
Absolutely.
You want to do it slow, you do it slow.
Yep.
You don't feel like doing that, don't fucking activate the quest. You don't have to do this quest, by the way. So take your time. While we finish, maybe before Christmas, after Christmas, we have a weapon in our hand, you know, we can let those Reddit people, you know, waste their time typing every single complaint every day, you know. Let them do what they want, man. You know, just happy grinding, everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Arthurs. Make sure that you follow him, twitch.tv/Arthurs. Again, thank you, Arthurs, for the call. Really appreciate the perspective looking across the pond at what
those silly JPs are thinking.
Yeah, well, it seems like
let's not bitch.
You know, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at the lack of reaction from Japanese players, because this is exactly what I expected.
They don't really bitch all that often.
No, No.
So it makes when they actually do bitch a lot more listenable.
If you get the S or the JPs to actually bitch about something,
You know
you're done
something's broken.
goofed.
Yeah, that's true. Let's read another email here. Hello, LBR crew. Lilith Tyrannus here. As a raider, I really enjoyed your discussion last week on the idea of having linkable achievements for clears in Party Finder. I definitely side with Aniero on this issue overall, but this is something that is already happening right now. If your group uses FF logs, which the majority of raid groups do these days, then your information will be available for everyone to see. I've joined parties asking for clear experiences, and the first thing that they did was look up my name on FF logs. This not only shows DPS for each fight, but how many times you actually manage to clear it. I feel like a system like this is much better than a simple achievement system because it allows you to prove yourself as a player that did not just get carried by the rest of your group. Anyway, I know that you guys have I know that you guys don't have much time, so I'll just leave it at that. Keep on being awesome. Thanks, Lilith Tyrannus. Good point. We've talked about FF logs in the past. There was a lot of opinions floating around about FF logs around the time that it started. A lot of people thought that it was it could be used as a way to grief other players or as a way to exclude other players from the raid scene. And while that's not wrong, I think exclusion is also sometimes not wrong. There are some people who are just flat out not prepared, and they try to step up before they're ready, and they do it to farm parties or to clear parties. They don't go through the traditional channels of let's do a learning party first. You know what I mean? And I think that giving players a tool to identify that is pretty important. So, do we have one more call? Let's take one more caller.
One more caller?
Yeah,
okay.
let's take one more call.
We got Kata of the Famfrit server on the line.
Kata, how you doing? Thanks for calling Limit Break Radio.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. You are going to be our final caller to Limit Break Radio tonight. So, what would you like to talk about, Kata?
First, it's an honor to be on here. Thank you guys for putting in the hard work that you guys do each and every week. I definitely makes my drive to and from work every day awesome. So
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you for calling in. This is your first time calling in. We do appreciate you taking the time to give us a call here.
Yeah. When it comes to this whole Anima thing, I think like you said, it's the vocal minority that's just saying all these nonsensical, maybe not even experienced opinions about how difficult it is. Right? I'm only about 20 items in. I put a good couple of hours in this weekend. But what else did they expect from the content? They're putting raid content in there. So we have Alexander Normal that we get to do. We get tokens from that. You get law from that. And honestly, one of the things I wanted to point it out is you said that Coil wasn't really being utilized, but between me and my raid group, just doing first time clears on Poetics bonuses is the fastest way to get those tokens.
No, I actually never really even considered that. Yeah, that there are some pretty serious Poetics bonuses that you get from for pulling a player through a piece of content. That before patch 3.15, I would have said that has absolutely no value. No one cares about that. But now that you can use tomes for this grind, I actually do. I agree with you. I do think that there is some value in that now.
Yeah,
so are you grabbing a group of 7 of you and just saying, "Hey, we'll run someone through it"?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what we do. We get a group of 7 of us together, and then we'll a T1 through 13 clears almost 2 full items. That's basically skipping 20 turns of Alex. And you can do a T6 clear happens in less than 5 minutes.
If you can get them to agree to skip the cutscenes.
Yeah,
fly through that quickly.
We kind of just push them along nicely. if they want to watch the cutscenes, we tell them, they're always available in the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's a lot of opportunities, and one of the things a lot of people are upset about, the machinist weapon is actually garbage stats, right? It's skill, speed, and debt, which doesn't help them at all.
Right.
But if you think that those are your final stats, you're silly. They added customization after the first patch, where they were it's going to happen the next time. And one of the things I think would be cool, I think adding skills to a weapon may be a huge turnoff, especially for raiders that are clearing the content that would most likely need them the most, is finding ways to glamour already existing skills in the game.
Hang on. I actually think that and just because I was sort of thinking about that too, because the minute that weapon becomes outclassed, then you're having to make a decision whether or not you want to get rid of it based on that additional action or whatever it is that comes along with the weapon. But I actually think that should be a reward for completing the quest to do the weapon, and that the action or the whatever it is permanent. It's static. It stays with your character, so that it doesn't matter what actual weapon you have equipped. That it's still a reward for completing the weapon at the end of that quest line.
It's like a job quest.
Yes,
exactly. You take the weapon off now, but your effort wasn't wasted.
But it's gated behind the weapon progression.
Right.
Oh, that makes that would be a much better design. My idea was that they can take, so if you're a Dark Knight and you finish your Dark Knight Anima weapon, and then at the end of it you get to do maybe a customized color scheme for your Abyssal Drain or for your Unleash. Instead of it being that deep black, maybe you can do like a different color purple or a bright red or something like that.
Bright pink.
Well, glamour is the true end game, right?
Well, yeah, recoloring your skills, that would be kind of cool. I mean,
it'd actually be kind of boss.
Not something I ever thought of. Yeah, I mean, when I stop to think about it, it's very cool.
Yeah, but this is definitely not the last step. This is just the beginning. It's a great grind. Like, think of it from like a community standpoint, right? Like, there's people doing fates in Heaven's Ward, which has never happened, right? At least
never.
For me, not on FanFrit.
Yeah, totally.
So you have people doing that. People are running content. I'm having more social time doing these relic grinds than I have in a long time. So I think it'd be. Does it suck? Yeah, I mean, it's not fun to run the same content 800 runs in a row, but you get the experience of a community, which I think SC really nailed it on this one, of bringing people together towards a common goal.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for your call, Kata. We really appreciate it. You got any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, one to my FC, the Holy Church of Fish over on FanFrit, and my Raid Static, the One Mo Link Show.
Well, thank you very much for the call. We really appreciate it. We want to thank all of our callers here today.
All of our callers. Was anyone actually pissed off?
I don't think anyone was. No.
Interesting.
Tried finding someone, but
no
luck.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. Is it just that our fan base is really level-headed, or could it be that maybe there's just some loud-ass people over on Reddit who are dumbasses?
Or maybe they're just scared of Aniero.
Well, that's possible.
He's an imposing figure.
That's possible. It's funny. I got a lot of people who tweeted me about my comment that it was an active goal of mine at the next FanFest to get punched in the face. Which I appreciate all of the tweets saying that I'll be the one to punch you in the face. The thing you have to remember is I punch back. Okay, so you're more than welcome to do it. You can do it, but you gotta make it a good one. You better make it a good one.
Make sure he drops from it, because he's coming for you.
Are you just encouraging people to actually knock you out with one punch?
I don't think they could, but if they want to try, that's fine. But I punch back, so be careful.
All right, so if you're gonna punch an arrow, bring your brass knuckles.
Challenge accepted.
You know what? Remind me not to stand next to Aniero at any point during FanFest.
All right, now, Aniero, I know you said no more calls, but one caller really wants to sing you a happy birthday song.
All right. Well,
do we have time?
Yeah, we'll have time.
We'll bring her in real quick.
We'll make time.
Okay.
Oh, and it's a her, too.
It's a her, and she's online right now.
Oh, my. Okay. Well, who do you want to tell us who it is?
She can text
Okay. Hi, caller. How you doing?
Oh, hello.
Hi, Carletta.
Hi.
How you doing?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Gregory. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you, Carletta. Carletta, one of our longest running fans for Limit Break Radio. Thank you for the
I
birthday
did not
wishes.
have sex with that caller.
But there might be bugs in your ear.
Oh my gosh, shut up.
Yeah. Thank you, Carletta.
Y'all take care.
We appreciate it. That's very. Thank you. You guys are too nice. You may sometimes you make doing this show hard because you're so nice, and it can sometimes be a challenge to work up the ability to be an asshole. Thank you, Carletta. That was very nice of you. All right, so that'll do it. That brings us to the end here of episode number 43 of Limit Break Radio. Thank you guys so much for all of your birthday wishes and for hanging out, for all of your calls and your emails. We took a lot of reactions today to the Anima Weapons, and I think we had a really great discussion, and I want to thank you guys for being a part of it. Now, chat, I need to ask you a favor, okay? I am going to say words, and I need you guys to just kind of be quiet for this part, okay? Because when I start saying this is not going to come easy for me. And when I start saying this, if I start reading your guys' kindness, this is going to be much more difficult for me to get through. Okay?
Do you want to turn away from the computer monitor?
No, I'm fine. I'm a pro.
All right?
I can do this.
Can do this? Okay.
I can do this. But I just want to want you guys to just sit back and listen, okay? Because I've got some kind of important things to say. So last week, actually, this would have been 2 weeks ago now. 2 weeks ago, I received some very disheartening news. Some of you guys know that that I was up for a potential promotion where I worked. And I did not get that promotion, which, okay, that's fine. I can deal with that. Bit of a blow to the career, but that's fine. It's okay. All right. Couple of maybe a week or so later, I was notified that because they created that position that I had applied for and they didn't take me, that my part-time position was being eliminated. And so I got laid off last Friday. And, this isn't a huge deal. Again, I'm not trying to milk you guys for sympathy, okay? I don't want a single one of you to say that you feel bad for Aniero. Do not feel bad for me. This is something that has happened to everyone. Everyone. This is not unique to me. This is not unique to my profession. It's not unique to what I do. Everyone has been through this, okay? So on the next episode of Final Encounter Cast, I'm going to actually want to vent about this, okay? I have some legitimate emotions about this because the way that this went down was a screw job. And I got boned because, I could get into it right now, but I'm not going to, okay? I want to save that for the next episode of Final Encounter Cast, and I want to encourage all of you listening right now to join us for that conversation and commiserate with me. Tell me your stories about getting screwed at work, because everyone gets screwed at work. Everyone. Okay, so I just want to prepare you for the next episode of Final Encounter Cast, and I also want to use this as a way to put out there. When we had launched the Patreon campaign, we had said that long term we would love to do this full time. We would love to put all of our time and energy and resources into doing not just this show, but what we've built with FEC and creating even more content. And you guys have gone so far out of your way to give us money, whether it be for the bet over PayPal or through Patreon every single month. You guys have shown us that our content is valuable, that our content is valued by our audience. I had an interesting conversation with a guy who is a digital media specialist, and he told me something really interesting. You know what the average podcast that has successful sponsorship pulls down in terms of downloads in a 30-day period?
We were shocked at
probably
this
like 50K,
between
40K?
5,000 and 7,000. That's it.
Hey, we do more than that.
Your favorite podcast that you listen to, chances are there's only 5,000 to 7,000 people that are listening to it. You know, obviously there are huge podcasts out there, but we average somewhere between 17 and 24,000 people downloading the show every single episode. We get 300 to 500 people tuning in live every time we do the show and sticking around for the entirety of the 3 hours that we are live. Okay, we have a marketable product. We've built this to the point where it's a marketable product, and we've done that with your help. We haven't had to resort to sponsored content. We haven't had to resort to shilling ourselves out and trying to sell you guys on something that we don't believe in. And that has really, I think, driven home the way that we want to run this organization. We want to make sure that we do this with all of the forethought to how we structure it in terms of ethics when we share something with you guys. We don't want the question to be, oh, who paid for this opinion, to be weighing on your minds as you listen to either Final Encountercast or Limit Break Radio. But clearly, what we pull in with Limit Break Radio is not a fully compensatable salary for any one of the 5 of us. And the way that we have structured what we take in is we have a merit-based pay system. We have to work for any type of money that we are able to draw out of Limit Break Radio. And because of your support, we have been able to support ourselves on a small level. But what we've been focusing on is trying to continue to grow the organization. And where we're at now, because where I was at in my personal life is that I was making do with 2 part-time jobs and doing this as a weekend passion project that was also adding to a bit of my income. But doing this, talking about doing this full-time and actually doing it are huge. There is a huge gulf there because we have needs as human beings. You know, everyone needs a place to live. Everyone needs needs food to eat. We've got to be able to have the equipment to be able to make these live shows happen. Okay, that's all a cost of doing business. So this is I'm not trying to use this as a way to bludgeon support out of you at Patreon. I'm not trying to use this as a way of saying Limit Break Radio and Final Encountercast are going anywhere. I'm not saying that. We are as devoted now to this product as we ever have been. But my professional life requires that I be in the same location as my job most of the time. It's hard. It can be difficult to find off-site work. For radio, I mean, you think about it, it's easy to send audio places, but generally there is a studio, there's an in-house place that somebody goes to be able to produce all of that stuff, okay? So my job, my profession, which I also do here for you guys, it may require me to up and move. I don't want to do that. Part of what makes this show amazing is that we're all able to, almost all of us, sorry, Nika, that we're all able to get into the studio and share the space and be able to bring a dynamic that's pretty unique to our show. There's not a lot of other shows that have the same dynamic, and being in the same room definitely helps with that. It is conducive to that. And I think that we would make the show no matter what the challenges were in front of us. It is a passion project. This is something that we do for fun. But you guys like this product. You guys spend a lot of time with this product. You guys listen every week. You guys tune in live. You guys call in live. And you guys write the program. You guys have a lot more say in this than maybe you think. I don't want to move. I don't want to switch jobs. I mean, I'm at the point in my life where I've got to look at, do I stay in the radio profession, a profession that I don't know if they really want me to be honest. What we do here with Limit Break Radio is so unique and so niche that trying to explain what we do here to anyone else inside of the radio industry, they just tap out within seconds. They can't wrap their head around it. And then when they hear it, they go, well, why is it so cynical? Why is it so, why is it so negative? And because we're making a product, honestly, we're making a show that I want to listen to. That's all. We're making a show that I would be attracted to if I stumbled across it on the iTunes library. We are not making this show for the lowest common denominator to reference an old joke for Escalia. Woo! We're not making this show for the widest possible audience. We never were. Ever since we brought this show back for 14, we were never making this show so that the most amount of FF14 players would hear it and go, I really like that. We have led with our hearts. We've led with our we've led with what we feel is the best content. What would attract us as people? And look at the audience that we've been able to attract to the show. It's really amazing. And this is where you guys actually have a say in this, okay? Because I can either continue in this industry that I don't know really wants me, that doesn't even get what I'm doing, that, let's be honest, doesn't even really understand podcasting as a format, much less live streaming to Twitch. Or I can stick around here, I can keep plugging away at Limit Break Radio and Final Encountercast, hope that something breaks for us, and that that we get to this other level with Final Encountercast. We unlock this new audience with Final Encountercast, and we get to a new level that we're able to take. We're able to take the brand, and in the meantime, I just get a job at Subway. I don't particularly want to do that either. I'll do it. I mean, I'm open to doing it, but that's not something that'll make me very happy. I'll be honest with you. It's not going to make me terribly happy. Or the other thing that I'm looking at is I'm looking at moving to a different city to work in a different market, because that is the industry of radio. It exists in markets. That's just what the industry is. Okay? So here we are with a product that goes a bit against the grain. And I think that's what you guys like about the product. Okay? And to me, that's something that's worth supporting. To me, if it's something that you don't get elsewhere, okay? If it's something that you're not getting, that you walk away from other shows going, man, that was pretty good, but I really wish that these guys would talk to me like an adult, like a real person. I think that's what we strive to do here with this show, and with Final Encountercast. We seek to talk to you like real people. And I really appreciate that you allow us to do that. It's really what we do with the show is what you allow us to do. And so, I just wanted to spend a moment and give you guys an idea of where I'm at. I think that being that most of the equipment is physically where I'm at, that my job, my employment has a pretty big impact in what we end up doing here. And so because you guys are an active part of this product, because you guys are an active part of Limit Break Radio, and you guys have been so generous in funding us at PayPal and at Patreon, that we needed to bring you in as a part of the discussion. And so I really want you guys to kind of think about this and to kind of, to kind of do a gut check. Like, is this something that I should pursue? I'm asking you guys because I don't know. Honestly, that's where I'm at. I don't know. It scares the shit out of me. I'm going to be honest. It scares the shit out of me to strike out and to do something that is not a guaranteed success. There's not a guaranteed paycheck at the end of it. That's so much scarier than going, yeah, I'll come work for you, CBS, and you'll pay me $15 an hour. It's way scarier to go, I have the ability to do this. But you know what? It's your support. It's you guys that allow me to think like that. It's your support that allows me to think that this is even a remote possibility. It's what you guys have already done that makes this even a question mark in my book. So if that, if that means something to you, decide what it means. And I'm not just talking about financial support. I'm talking about every time somebody listens, every time somebody sends an email, every time somebody calls. It says to me that we make something people want to hear and that they want to engage in. And we want to do that. We want to keep doing that. We want to do more of it. And it's just figuring out if we can do that and how to do that. And so I want to hear from you. Even if you think that your opinion doesn't matter, even if you know nothing about radio, we want to hear from you. And we also want to hear your stories about shit that's gone wrong at your jobs. We're going to be coming back in January with the next episode of Final Encountercast, and we have started taking calls on the show, and we want as many people as we possibly can to call in and commiserate with this screw job. I can't wait to give you guys the details, because if you think you're pissed now, if you think you're disappointed now, fuck, man, you don't even know the half of it.
And it's not just you either. I mean, I think Juxta and I will both have a story to throw in with that.
Yep, sure do.
The curse of LBR.
Exactly.
Bad for your career and worse for your computer.
It is. That's pretty good.
Is that tagline?
Yeah. Bad for your career, worse for your computer. I like that. And let's just make it a big, let's take all of the emotional power out of it and just, have a big bitch session with each other. So we can all feel better. Everyone's gotten screwed at jobs. I don't want to hear, I'm so sorry, Aniero, that sucks. And I don't want sympathy money. I don't want any of that. I want to have a real conversation with you guys. This is where I'm at in my life. I don't talk about myself very often. Okay? And I think what we seek to do with FEC is so unique. I mean, we're basically, we exist to tell you, look, your gaming idols suck. The people that you've been building up from G4 or IGN or game trailers for the past 10 years, they fucking suck, and they're shills, and they've got that corporate dick shoved halfway down their throat.
There is no greater example of bought and paid for journalism than the gaming industry. And
if you appreciate that perspective, then you want Final Encountercast. You need Final Encountercast as an important counterbalance in the gaming media space. We're trying to do something as a team, as a cast. That's not common either, especially on Twitch. Usually you have one person striking out and all of the money that, is going to them through PayPal or Patreon, they're able to have a lot of agency with those funds. We structure things different here. We're trying to support the organization. We're trying to, and then secondarily, we're trying to support ourselves. But there's 5 of us. 5. So for as much as you think that we're getting in generosity right now, it needs to step up.
Divided by 5.
There needs to be another level to this. And I recognize that it's unfair to come to you to ask for that.
Yeah.
It's totally unfair to put that 100% on our audience. We're going to be looking at ways to maybe get some sponsorship under our belts, but do it in a way that is not shilling some fucking mobile game.
Which comes back to the point of us wanting to have a conversation with you guys.
Exactly.
What form of sponsorship would you guys find acceptable?
Yeah.
Here's the given. We would never let a sponsor write anything that goes on our show, I don't think. I can't imagine a situation where we'd allow that.
No. Or even influence the show in any way.
Yeah.
And I think we have the download numbers to throw our weight around with potential sponsors like that.
And we have you to thank.
Exactly.
And we have you to thank for that, because you guys come to the site, you come to the Twitch channel, and it's really because of you. And I want to take this time and say thank you. I want to thank you for every dollar that you've ever given to Limit Break Radio. I want to thank you for every listen you've ever given to Limit Break Radio. I want to thank you for every iTunes review, for every tweet, for every single correspondence that you've ever had with this show, every single interaction that you've ever had with this show, even if it's just a hi in the chat, even if it's just a follow on Twitch, those little things and growing this audience is the really important work. That's the truly important work. We appreciate all your money and we appreciate all of your time. But the real work is finding new people. And you can help with that. Just a little bit of your time is the only thing that we're asking. Spread Limit Break Radio with someone you think would appreciate it. Spread Final Encountercast with someone that you think would appreciate it. That's all we're asking. If you can't give, this is another way to do that. Let us know how you feel about what we've proposed here today and what we've talked about, and we're going to unpack it. Tune in for the next Final Encountercast. We're just going to let it be, we're just going to let it be what it is. And we would love to hear from you. So that's going to do it here for Limit Break Radio. I really want to thank everyone for all of your birthday wishes, for all of your follows, for all of your emails, your calls, your chats. You guys are awesome. You guys are the most amazing audience ever. And I'm so proud that you guys are our audience. You're so smart. You prove it every single episode. And I think that's amazing. Not only have we built a huge audience, but they're fucking smart. That does not happen often. And I hope at least some of that is just a reflection of our content. That's all. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. If this has been your first time, hit that follow button. Hang out with us all the time. We do the show each and every single Sunday. We will be live next Sunday, the 27th, and we will all be in studio for that episode. I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think so. We're all going to actually be in studio for that. So we're going to have a nice holiday celebration, and come wish us a happy new year.
Aniero's even going to let us decorate the studio.
Let us let us know what you got for Christmas. Did Santa bring you anything awesome? We want to hear it all in the next episode of Limit Break Radio. That's going down next Sunday, December the 27th, here on twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. Again, I want to thank everyone who called in, who emailed in, and everyone hanging out in the chat, all 300 of you that have been hanging out for this live episode. And of course, my co-host, Juxtaposition, Nika Kayanian, and Askalia Ryumasa. I'm Aniero. Keep listening. Limit Break Radio is a production of LimitBreakRadio.com and Bender Media Productions. Today's episode was produced by Aniero Grigori. Final Fantasy XIV and Eorzea are trademarks of Square Enix. Funding for Limit Break Radio is provided by Miri Kennett, Scry De La Rosa, Zurian Urexin, Satori Komeji, Karkwin Albarn, Rajan Nelka, and fellow Limit Break Radio listeners. To support Limit Break Radio, visit patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. Opening music in this episode from Daniel Lambie. Listen to Man with the Machine Gun and other great tracks at facebook.com/Daniel Lambie Metal Gamer. Closing music in this episode provided by Husky by the Geek. Listen to this and other great Final Fantasy XIV and video game rock covers and original music at facebook.com/Husky by the Geek. In-game graphics for Limit Break Radio's Twitch stream are provided by Diamond Multimedia. Check out their line of AMD graphics cards and other hardware at diamondmm.com. Limit Break Radio and its hosts are solely responsible for its content. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode number 43 of Limit Break Radio here live on twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. You guys are so awesome. I could not read the chat while trying to get through that statement, but I'm going to go back and read it now. All of your kindness is just too much. Thank you guys for all of the birthday wishes. Thank you for everything. This is it's amazing to do this, and just know that we really appreciate it. So that's it. We're gonna toss out an ad here in just a second, and then we'll probably be tossing out a host as well. So stick around. Let them know that you came from Limit Break Radio. Thank you so much, guys, and have a great night.